Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us this week. An immense amount for joining us. We have one of the most requested episodes that we've been getting requests for since we started today. So today's one of our, we like to call the heavy hitter series, I would say, or a hard, whatever you want to put it. Most requested. This is one of them. Biggest asshole, we'll say. He's a top 10 asshole. Right. We'll say that right off the bat. Out of 206 episodes now, top 10 asshole here, everybody. So that's going to be fun. Thank you for listening all week. Thank you for what you've done. If you didn't listen to last week, you fucked up.
You did.
Because it was a great story.
It's an unbelievable story.
And I know a lot of you didn't listen because it was a diver and you never heard of him. I thought we had an understanding by now. If we put out a show,
I thought we had your trust.
It means it's a good story. That's why we put it out. If you have to hear of the person,
right.
I don't know. That to me, just saying this, and I don't mean to offend you, but that's kind of stupid.
Right.
It's a kind of an ignorant thing to do. Listen to stories that you don't know. Right. Those are most of the time the best episodes. Yeah. So don't be an idiot. Anyway, thank you so much for everything you've done for us this week.
That's the equivalent of letting your girlfriend go to the bar and then calling her nonstop.
Yes.
Let us just trust us.
What the shit? Exactly. Trust us on this. Thank you for everything you've done. If you haven't done it yet, get on Apple Podcasts, purple icon, and give us a review. 5 stars would be lovely. Say, I don't mind it when they yell at us. That's perfect. That'll do it. So thank you for doing that. Really helps.
Trust them.
I trust them. That works. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything crime and sports and small town murder related. All sorts of stuff there right now. I know we have masks up now that go to charity.
How weird is that?
All the profit goes to charity. Everything goes to charity.
If when we started this, somebody told you you're going to one day have masks.
No. Is Michael Jackson coming back from the dead? Ooh, no, we're not going to need that.
You guys are going to sell masks.
Get on there, check it out, all sorts of stuff. Listen to Small Town Murder if you haven't already. I don't know what you're thinking. If you like this, trust me, you'll like that. Right. I promise you that. Also, listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie every Friday, where we take a realistic look at the unrealistic world of romantic comedies and make fun of them and make me crazy.
Would you just trust him?
Just trust us by now. Good God. We put out quality. So thank you for that. And if you want to be a supporter of the show, a producer of the show, as a matter of fact, and have access to all the amazing bonus materials, you can do that very easily by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports or head over to PayPal and use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, if you just want to be nice and make a donation. Yeah. But Patreon, anybody above the $5 level, you have access to all the bonus stuff, Crime and Sports and Small Town Murder bonus. And a lot of them aren't like stories. So last week we did the all violent felon prisoner dating game, and it was one of the greatest things we've ever. It was great. It's worth your Patreon just for that. And this week we have our asshole of the week, which I guess I'll say it now for Crime and Sports. Our fellow this week is War Machine.
All right,
one of the biggest assholes ever. And what we have for a bonus episode is about 2 months of his prison blog that we are going to just make fun of unmercifully for what this asshole was writing while he was in prison.
Oh, the ego.
It's amazing. So you need that bonus episode. Trust me, it is just ridiculous. So check all that out and everything. And that said, let's get started, Jimmy.
All right.
This is it's thick. It's a thick with assholery. This is the nickery is up to your neck, Jimmy. Let's start out.
It's up to the neck
tattoos? Up to the neck tattoos. It is Jonathan Paul Koppenhaver. War Machine.
Right.
Otherwise known as a matter of fact, legally known as at this point, which we'll get into, because this asshole changed his name to War Machine.
Fuck you, Mom. I know you thought real hard about giving me a name that was respectful.
Yeah,
I'd like to spit in your face.
Named him after his grandfather, and he's like, I think War Machine will do. The only other person I know that's like legally changed her name to a stage name like that is the Ultimate Warrior, who was another complete asshole. So it's like that's a weird egotistical. He did it more for we'll talk about War Machine.
So hold on, Jonathan.
Legal purposes.
Is it going to be War Machine Koppenhaver? Like you're going to keep the family name?
War Machine. The kids are going to be the Machine children.
Right.
That's it.
First name War, last name
Machine. That's it. This is little Bobby Machine and little Jimmie Machine.
On the mailbox out front of the house, the Machines.
The Machine, little Susie Machine. Isn't that nice? The Machine family. So, you say it enough, Machine, it kind of sounds like it's French. Yeah. The Machines just moved in they came from Paris.
Sounds like Charlie's daughter. Machine.
So, let's see here. He's born November 30th, 1981. Seems like he's done more on this earth bad wise. He's done more damage than it seems like that much time would allow. But
he and I are the same age.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
Same year.
Yeah. It's actually the same age, unlike last week. What's that guy, 28? I mean, we're the same age. Okay.
So he's my age. This guy's literally my age, and nobody's heard of me as much as they've heard of him.
Oh, no, he's very famous.
He's done a lot.
Let's make him more famous.
Okay.
What do you say?
Make him infamous.
Oh, yeah. He already is. We're going to add to it. He's born in Simi Valley, California. That's where he's from. Born and raised, and he comes full circle there, as we'll find out. They always go home, Jimmy.
Go back home.
He does it all. He finds religion. He goes home. He breaks every crime and sports rule except for the junior rule because no one will take his seed into their fucking ovaries. Thank God. Or wherever the hell it goes.
Yeah.
In there somewhere, damn it.
Or he's putting it in ones that have chemicals in there that kicks it all right back out.
Yeah, no shit.
Thank Christ.
Thank the shit. His father was a white German dude, not from Germany, but like, hey, he's German like you.
Okay.
He was actually an officer for the LAPD. No kidding. His father, absolutely. And his mother is Mexican. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of mix. He's one of those guys where you look at him and go, he doesn't look like a Koppenhaver.
Yeah.
Odd.
Yeah.
I thought he was like Hawaiian or something.
I did too.
He's got a Hawaiian look to him or something, an Islander kind of look. But no, he's half Mexican, half German. Okay. And his mother was a nurse and later would become kind of a stay-at-home mom. And the reason, I think, is not for I really want to spend more time with the kids. It seems like it's because she had a pretty hefty drug problem. Was what I think she drugged herself out of the nursing game.
Really?
Is what it seems like here. I could be wrong, but that's the course of events. So, so leave. Jonathan is the oldest of three here. Little War is the oldest of three.
Yeah.
And War would take care of his younger brother and sister a lot. He'd kind of be responsible because that's what happens when mom's a fucking drug addict. Yeah. So whoever's the oldest is now in charge.
Right.
That's it. Who's the oldest and not on crack? Anybody? Is that who's not out sucking dick for heroin? Anybody
Mom's passed out in the inside swing again.
She's between the screen door and the front door, just passed out. I don't even know how you get in there, but that's where I found her. So I feel like we should probably
both are locked. So she's there for a while.
Jonathan, you making dinner now, I guess? You doing the mac and cheese? So their parents got divorced when he was young and all of his kids were young. John lived with his father while his brother and sister lived with his mother, which is a strange... That's always a weird psychological thing. If you break the kids up, even if it's for practical reasons, father lives closer to John's school because he's in middle school and they're in elementary, or whatever the hell it is, it still makes a weird...
It's separating them.
Yeah, and how come they're there? Is that because I'm not wanted, or is that because they're not wanted here? And it just makes a weird psychological thing that is weird for kids if you do that. Now, his mother later remarried, and we'll talk about that in a little while. War Machine does not like his stepdad at all. He really hates his stepdad a lot, which, I mean, think about what kind of guy he was, probably marrying his drug addict mom, probably a drug addict. Probably. So if your mom brings a drug addict into the house, it's like, oh, good, now there's two of you.
Right.
Yeah, I had a friend like that, and their mom was, into drugs, and they brought this drug addict guy. She brought this drug addict guy home, and it was like... He was like, great, now great, perfect.
It's all awful.
Yeah, now I can't even influence her because I got this one fucking, on the other side. So he just gave up, basically. Somehow the lady's still alive. I don't know how.
Really?
Yeah, physically, you'd look at her and go, oh, she's going to die tomorrow. Like, just in bad shape, wheezing all the time, and but from just smoking 3 packs a day and wheezing and heavy and all this shit. And this was Jimmie 25 years ago. She's still fucking going. I don't know how she's going. Probably smoking 3 packs a day still.
She'll die behind the wheel of a vehicle and then kill a bunch of other people.
Yeah,
right.
kill
That's
like
how it always works.
A busload of parochial school students as she send them off into a fucking tree somewhere.
And she crashes into a daycare.
Yeah, then careens off into a daycare playground at lunchtime.
And it's the goddamn
little sandwiches and goldfish flying everywhere. Little PB&Js with the crust cut off, flying, man.
All kinds of Uncrustables.
All kinds of things that you cannot crust. So his dad, at 39 years old, and when Jean was only 13, dies of a heart attack in front of him.
Oh, my God.
And it gets worse than that. John's 13. His brother, Michael, is 9 at the time, and they're both there.
What?
His dad has a heart attack. John, War Machine, Little War, tries to perform CPR on him, and to no avail. He had a massive heart attack and died. CPR wasn't going to help him.
Wow.
And apparently the 9-year-old just stood there helplessly while this all went down. So that's traumatic.
The guy's 39.
He's 39. So at 13, you don't expect your 39-year-old dad to drop dead in front of you. It's just not. You don't even think about it. I never even thought for a second, because that's the age bracket about which my dad was in when I was that age.
I'm 39 right now. My kid is almost 13.
Do they expect you to drink? Yeah,
my God.
My son is 13.
Yeah.
I'm 2 years older than that.
Right.
He doesn't expect me to drop dead in front of him, I don't think. I think it's probably the last thing on his mind.
Right.
So,
and if it happened, that'd be fucking mind-blowing. That can happen?
He was trying to save you, too. That's, man, that and the mom. So it's not good.
No.
Obviously, between the drug addict mom and the father dead in front of him with the CPR, we're mixing a cocktail that is going to have some nasty ramifications later on.
And now he has to go live with fucking mom?
His mother, who he hates, and he hates his stepdad even more. So,
oh my God,
bad times are about to happen. Let's go. How the fuck does someone turn out to be such an asshole like this?
This is it.
And we're definitely not making an excuse for him, because I know people who've come up way worse than this.
Oh yeah.
They're not assholes. Right. They're fine. They realize, gee, that's terrible. I don't want to reproduce that onto other people. But this is how you can make an asshole here. It's a good formula. He, his little brother, Michael, says, quote, about War Machine, he was just a kid trying to jump on his dad, trying to push on his chest, trying to blow in his mouth. It's not a pretty thing. He feels responsible. So he feels like he didn't do CPR good enough. So for years, I guess he would apologize to his brother and sister about not being able to save their dad.
That's terrible. That's just German genes. We're not built we're not long for this world.
No, that's German genes mixed with Jewish guilt. So it's a very strange mixture there. His own brand of guilt that he's put on himself. So, Jesus, man, that's terrible, though. His workout coach later on, this guy, we'll talk about him later, he says, quote, his father was his whole world. This powerful man just disappears out of his life like that. He didn't have anyone to lean on. That's another thing, too. His dad was a cop. So if you're a little kid and your dad is like, first of all, your dad is a superhero anyway, just because he's an adult. You know, you figure, he can do things I can't do. But then if he comes in this uniform with a fucking gun and all this shit, like he seems
in LA?
He seems invincible at that point. That's an invincible man. I mean, not the most popular thing to be in 1994, an LAPD officer, because that's at 13, that's 94.
Yeah.
We're talking post-Rodney King.
It's tough.
It's not great. But if you're a kid, you're not thinking these cops are scumbags if your dad's one of them. You're thinking, they're misunderstood. My dad's a good guy.
There might be scumbags, but this guy that sleeps in the next room is great.
He protects me, so you don't. That's the last guy you expect. That's the guy who's in charge. Think about him when he's driving.
Right.
He's doing it, and he knows what he's doing, and that's kids don't worry about him. You know, like you ever drive when you're a kid, you drive with an adult who you can tell is a bad driver as a kid, and it's scary.
Yeah.
Like you never get that with his dad. I feel like very solid.
My mom, she's a terrible driver.
My mom is so
the worst.
My mom, every time, like if she'll come over, if we have them over for dinner or something, when they leave, I'm not religious at all. I say about 3 prayers. I'm like, please get her home safe, because it's 50-50.
Yeah.
She is fucking the worst driver ever. She doesn't pay attention.
Yeah.
It's scary.
I drive the same way my mom drives.
She's hit houses, man.
Oh, Jesus.
Houses. Just whole houses she's hit. It's crazy. It's not good.
My mom and I both probably have about the same amount of tickets. She gets them at the same rate as I do. It's very strange. Like,
it's just genetic, I guess.
It's just it's not what the cop sees in the seat. It's how the cop sees the car moving.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. And then so my dad's the most perfect driver I've ever seen in my life. Like, we could be careening down a mountain in the snow, and I'd be like, I'm going to take a nap now. Like, he'll be fine. Like, it's amazing. I've never seen my dad be like, oh shit, ever. Ever. You know that? Oh shit. Oh, I got around that. Okay. Never happened. It's and we're talking in New York in the snow as a kid. Never once. Full control. Never slid in the snow. Nothing. I don't know how he does it.
James,
incredible driver.
The sun's out every time I come to your house, and about 3 times on my way to your house, I go, oh shit.
Yeah. I've been in the car with you. You should drive with Jimmie in LA. I try not to look. I just keep my head down because I'm like, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I don't need to see it coming. Because he's not paying attention. He's texting. He's got his map out. I'm like, this is scary.
Not even on my phone. Just like a whole Rand McNally covering up the whole windshield.
Just a big... Look, he's squinting. He's got his magnifying glass out. I'm like, hey,
James, are we going straight? I'm trying to find the
lane's closed. Get right. Christ almighty. So things get bad here with the stepfather. That's John and his brother Michael. Neither of them get along with the stepfather. Really? Michael later on would say, quote, he was not a good person. Once my dad died, he takes full control. His concern is no longer for the children. It's more, let's go to the bigger house. Let's get a better car. Let's just do unnecessary things with the money as opposed to taking care of the family and the kids in the future. I assume life insurance is what they're talking about. So basically the stepdad took their money and pissed it away. So War Machine here actually ends up doing a decent job, I guess, through high school. He gets into college.
Really?
He goes to the Citadel, actually. It's in Charleston, South Carolina. It's like a military college.
Really?
It's South Carolina Corps of Cadets, is they have a thing in there inside the Citadel, and that has like about 23 people, and it's one of the largest uniform bodies of,
education. Yeah.
I suppose so. And they have about 1,350 non-cadet students enrolled there. And it's a lot of these people go into the Marine Corps and shit like that. I'm not going to, but the 2019, the school's ROTC program commissioned 186 officers.
Incredible.
Which is a shitload. Yeah. So it seems like a pre-military school. I don't know if it's like West Point and like Annapolis or anything like that, but I'm not sure. It seems like a good school.
Sounds like he's trying to follow dad though, in terms of like be a rigid,
that's exactly what it seems like. Even the academic program here, they have engineering, science, math, humanities, social studies, business education. So it's well-rounded, I guess. He majors in biology.
Really?
Here. He absolutely does. He majors in biology at the Citadel here. He claims later on that he was even getting great grades.
Really?
Not that we don't know that for sure, but he claims that he was getting great grades. Everything was going wonderfully for him here. But his last day at the college ends up being January 27th, 2002.
Okay.
Which isn't very long here. No. The school would never disclose what he did to get kicked out, but apparently they just said poor behavior. And he did an interview with Joe Rogan where he said the reason he got kicked out was because, quote, I beat my stepdad almost to death in a dispute over unpaid tuition at the school.
So he went across the country to beat the shit out of this
Apparently
man?
To beat the shit out of this man.
And then went back to school.
I don't know. Well, he got kicked out in January, so maybe this was over Christmas break. I'm not sure. Maybe he went home for Christmas, beat the shit out of stepdad, and then came back to school.
Where the fuck's the money?
I'm not positive.
Right.
No, he's not a huge guy. When he's he's 5'11", 170 is his fighting weight. Right. He walks around at 190 though, usually, but 170 is his when he's a welterweight MMA fighter. But he's a bad motherfucker.
That's enough man to hurt.
Especially if he knows what he's doing. Yeah. Dude, this guy he's a tough dude. Yeah. That's the thing about him. He definitely is a tough dude. Now, that's his explanation, beating his stepdad half to death. Now, when you look at the records, though, and you go back and you do some background checks on him, and you find out that he also got arrested a bunch around now, which might be why he got kicked out. It might be more for that. Yeah. Getting arrested here, I found in 2001, he, let's see here. All I could find, these early arrests, all they had was the penal code. So I had to go look up what the California, patreon.com/crimeinsports. I haven't done that in a while, but this is a pain in my fucking ass looking up penal code shit.
Holy shit.
This is, grand theft he gets arrested for. It is, penal code 484E.
Okay.
Grand theft, and it can be either a misdemeanor or a felony in California. It's called a wobbler offense.
Really? Really?
And they can put it on either one depending on
the value of it.
Depending on just how they feel, basically. If
well,
it's
grand
more
theft makes it the value of it. I see what you're saying.
More if you've done it more, they'll charge you harder, that sort of thing. It's prison. You can get imprisonment in the county jail for up to a year if it's charged as a misdemeanor. So it's not bad. Yeah. And then early 2002, he gets arrested. This is right after he gets kicked out of school here. So I don't know if grand theft maybe got him kicked out of school more than beating your stepdad 3,000 miles away.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm just thinking,
or both coupled together.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
He fights and steals. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, this is a very rigid environment.
Right.
This is not like
we have.
This isn't ASU.
Right.
This is
we commission heroes.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
This is a different thing. They're looking for a different cut of person and not someone who's going to go do dumb shit like this. Apparently, if you're going to be an officer or whatever. So June of 2002, he is arrested for. Goddamn son of a bitch. For penal code violation 243B.
What is that one?
Also, penal code 148.9A.
Oh.
If you don't think that's bad enough, PC 148A parentheses 1.
Oh, and Article 1?
And Article 1, motherfucker.
Oh, my God.
All three.
What is it?
So, boom, bitch. Now, I know we said he was an asshole, but I didn't think you guys are all sitting there going, I didn't expect him to do a 148.9A. I mean, that's a different kind of asshole. OJ didn't even do that.
Right.
I mean, what the fuck? Well, this is a great. You can put this together, okay? First of all, he was arrested for initially speed law violations and a traffic arrest. So reckless driving. I'm assuming that's the only thing on the driving wise that'll probably get you picked up.
Right
Actually,
away.
put in cuffs is a reckless driving, unless you were drunk or something. But that's
if you appear to be a goddamn danger.
Yeah, exactly. Right. If you're going 50 over, weaving in and out of traffic, they're going to take you to jail. Then, later on, the 243B is battery of a peace officer or emergency person.
He fought them.
So he fought somebody off here at this point. And then 148.9A. Article A is falsely identifying yourself as a fictitious person to a police officer. So that's given a wrong name. And then 148A1 is resisting arrests and or an EMT or whatever, all this type of shit. So basically it sounds like
arrested for driving like a dickhead, gave a false name, and then resisted and fought back.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's what it is. Then they figured out who he was.
For what?
Don't know.
I mean, you don't even have a warrant at this point.
No.
We know of.
He just didn't want it on his
reason.
record. I don't know what he was thinking there. So he ended up fighting people off, and Jesus Christ, I'm saying she's the wrong person.
He really wanted to drive like an asshole.
He wanted to drive like an asshole more. So after this, he finally gets started on his MMA career here. He trains and all that. We'll leave all that out. We don't have a lot of time for MMA today, guys. There's a lot of police interaction. We are going to buzz through this shit as fast as we can and mainly concentrate on opponents with funny nicknames. That's what we're going to do. You know what? That's what we're going to do here. Because that's the plan. I'll just lay it out for you. Fuck it. That's how I've structured this thing. So his first fight is February 29th, leap year.
Yeah. Take
a fucking leap and jump in the ring and try to beat somebody
2004?
up. 2004. Mm-hmm. Total Combat 2 versus Angel Santabez, who this is his first fight in his career. He ends up 0-3.
Okay.
Doesn't work out well. War Machine wins with TKO with punches in the first round. 1-0.
He's going by Jonathan Koppenhaver right now?
He's going by War Machine Koppenhaver.
Okay, got it.
John War Machine Koppenhaver.
Okay.
And July 25th, 2004, Total Combat 4. He missed one in there. He fights Frank Duffy.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a guy that they pulled out of an Irish bar somewhere.
Yeah.
Is Frank here? Is he at the end of the bar? There's a guy out here who wants to fight him.
I don't know. He's had a lot of harps tonight.
Christ, I'm coming. Tell him to hold his horses. I'm coming. I'll be there in a minute.
Let me finish my black and tan.
For Christ's sake.
For Christ's sake, another?
Jesus Christ. Somebody else? Boy, shit, the hell's he talking about? He's a 1-3 career fighter, Frank Duffy. So one time he took a lucky punch off the bar. This is a rear naked choke win for War Machine after 25 seconds. Okay. Quick fight, 2-0. July 30th, 2005. So he waits a whole year. Not sure why. I couldn't find an arrest in that time period, but you never know.
Yeah.
Because there was some unspecified arrests in there that there's no court date or no anything. So I couldn't exactly tell when or what happened.
So he could just be interacting right now now trying to figure that out.
I'm thinking, fighters don't take a year off in the beginning of their careers.
It's very rare.
After their second fight. If they're doing well, they usually get them right out there. Mm-hmm. So I feel like he probably had some legal wranglings in this area that I just couldn't find. July 30th, 2005, Total Combat 9. So there's been 5 Total Combats in a year. This is Resurrection.
Hell yeah.
Giving it a name. Andrew Ramirez, he fights 1-3 career. This is his last fight. He lost all 3 in a row. He won 1, then lost 3 in a row, all in under a total of 2 minutes. So it took him less than 2 minutes to lose 3 fights, and then he quit.
I would too.
I'm not good at this. Yeah. This is a TKO with punches in round 1 at like 1 minute and 8 seconds. So 3-0 for old War Machine here. March 3rd, 2006, he fights. This is at the Gracie Fighting Championships. Team Gracie versus Team Hammerhouse is the name of the. Sounds douchey. I don't know. Yeah. He fights Mike O'Donnell, who's next to Patrick Duffy on the bar. Patrick's not here. What about Mike? Hey, O'Donnell, you ready to fight? He's taking a leak. He'll be out in a minute. All right, he's coming. He's taking a leak. He's always ready to fight. Hold on, I got my zipper down. I'm coming.
Finish his shepherd's pie and soda bread.
Hold on, let me finish my beer quick, and I'll be right out there. He's a 3-2 career fighter. Yeah. O'Donnell here. O'Donnell actually comes out, stumbles out of the bathroom, and beats War Machine with an armbar.
Oh.
A submission loss in round 2 here.
I'm telling you, a belly full of shepherd's pie will fuel your day.
So it was. He's like, Christ, this guy, I don't know what the hell he was. Some kind of Hawaiian. I don't know what the frig he was. I don't know. What do you ask Sully? What are you asking me for? I don't know. It's everybody at the Irish bar. It's Patrick Duffy, Mike O'Donnell, and Sully. Those are the 3 guys that hang out there. They're the regulars. It's like Norm and Cliff and, I don't know, somebody else. So 3-1. September 9, 2006, Total Combat 16, Annihilation.
My God.
Shouldn't you have Resurrection after Annihilation?
Should be.
How do you have...
You should save Resurrection for your very last one.
Resurrection. Right. But Annihilation. Well, I guess maybe you have to annihilate the Resurrected at that point.
Listen, we resurrected him. Now let's just beat the living shit out of him again.
We fucked up. Now we resurrected the wrong guy. We got to annihilate him. He fights.
We weren't expecting this one.
we missed it. Sorry, we missed the signals. Yeah. He fights R.J. Gomez, who is a 10-18 career fighter. This guy lost his last 11 fights of his career.
Oh, Jesus.
Straight. Just 11 straight.
Ouch.
He was 10-7, and then it just all went downhill.
10-18 is his finish?
10-18 is his finish. Just a disaster. This is one of those fights in the middle here. TKO in round 1, 4-1 for him, for War Machine, that is. Now, he's on the Ultimate Fighter Season 6 here. This is, apparently, he wasn't part of the original 16 fighters, War Machine, but somebody, Roman, I don't know what the hell, Midakian? I don't know how you say that. He broke his elbow somewhere in this, and so War Machine
brought him in.
He's the replacement to come in here. So June 29th, 2007, this is an exhibition fight. It doesn't count as for records or anything. It's for some reason. This is the UFC Ultimate Fighter Season 6 opening round, day 6.
Season 6 opening round, day 6.
Day 6.
What?
I don't know.
It's 6 days of opening round?
6 days. It's a day
At
6.
least?
6 open. This is a lot of... That's
a lot of opening.
It's just too many fights.
Good Lord.
It's too much tournament.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Tournament.
It's just too much. It's too much boat. It's just too much.
Too much tournament.
He fights Tom the Farm Boy Spear.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. He's gone through the Irish bars in town, so he's like, let's go out to the farms and see if anyone wants to fight. So the Farm Boy Spear is a 21-7 fighter, though.
It's a good fighter.
It's a good fighter. Yeah. You don't see this in boxing. You see a guy, a great heavyweight, like a Larry Holmes or something. He's like, 15 or 65-6 career or some shit. You don't see records like that in MMA. You just don't. You see, they always end up closer to 500.
Closer to par.
That's pretty much it.
Because that's what the UFC is. It's, you win, you lose. Any given Sunday, who knows if this guy can just get you this
That's the thing. Yeah. Now, do you think that's more exciting, or someone who's a force?
Right.
Who's, what
Somebody's
I'm saying?
just a dominant fucking person.
Because a bar fight's the same way.
Yeah.
It might not be a clear advantage. These guys are just skilled.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Where I don't know. I'd kind of rather see somebody great tear somebody shitty up once in a while,
over and over again,
which happens because he beat people too. Yeah. But this goes 2 rounds, this exhibition fight, and it's a unanimous decision loss for War Machine here. September of 2007. he is in Vegas, and he apparently gets in a little scuffle outside of in a parking lot where he chokes a man unconscious.
What?
In a parking lot. Punched him in the face and then choked him unconscious after that.
That seems about right.
You lead with the punch and then you choke him out.
You got to get close to him.
Yeah, he's found guilty of this in court in September of 2007. Yeah, I don't know what the final plea was because it was a plea, but he gets off on this. This is just a fine and all this sort of shit. So December 8th, 2007, is UFC Ultimate Fighter 6 finale.
Yeah.
I guess this is a big deal. He fights Jared J. Rock Rollins, who is an 8-4 career fighter. This is his last fight, though, and War Machine wins it in round 3 with punches. It's a TKO. 5-1 for War Machine. December 8th, 2007, UFC 84, Ill Will. Oh boy. He fights Yoshiyuki Zenko Yoshida. Zenko's the nickname. We've talked about him before. Yeah. Yoshiyuki's a great name.
It really is.
I really enjoy that a lot.
Coupled with the last name, it's just awesome.
I'm mad I didn't name my mad I didn't name my son Yoshiyuki. Aren't you?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Or Yoshimoto or
Yoshiyuki Whisman.
Yoshi, yeah.
I think that's a great name. It's a strong
Anything
name.
that starts with Yoshi, I'm into it.
How about Yoshiyuki Pietragallo?
That
and watch
sounds great.
People go, holy shit. Name, please? Yoshiyuki Pietragallo. Pardon?
Anytime he calls for reservations, there's like,
what was that?
We'll just put you down as a bunch of letters.
Yoshi, I guess. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd have to have a card with your name printed out to just here at every hotel. Right. Or just take. I'm not going to tell you how to spell this. Never mind. How's that?
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
with a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
This is this works out against War Machine's interests here, as Yoshiyuki chokes him out in 56 seconds. It's a submission. It's an anaconda choke.
Oh.
Which I don't know what that is.
I've never heard of that.
I guess he wraps his giant Japanese cock around his neck and chokes the life out of him.
You're very surprised because you didn't know Asians grew that long.
You're like, oh my God, or down his throat, maybe.
Right.
That's the
choke.
That's the choke. You know what? If someone did that to War Machine, I wouldn't be upset about it. I'd be like, well, you know what? They change the rules sometimes, War Machine. I'm sorry. You fucking dick.
Sometimes you get your face fucked.
You dildo. Sometimes you get your face fucked while a guy says things you can't understand. Spell
my name and I'll stop.
Yeah, I'll stop. I can't. I don't even know your name.
Spell my nickname. I dare you.
What is it in English? Help me, please. So, 5-2 for War Machine. Mm-hmm. February 2008 here. He's very busy in 2008. This is when he really starts to get busy. This is when he changes his name legally to War Machine.
In 2008.
2008,
Okay.
this happened. He's got 7 fights under his belt, and he's like, I better change it.
I need it.
There was some sort of dispute with TNA Wrestling. I think TNA was trying to trademark that name probably as one of their wrestlers' nicknames. Because that's what they do in wrestling. Everybody's nickname is trademarked from that company. So if that guy leaves, he can't be that guy anymore. So whatever. So
do they also do that as a protection from like Vince McMahon getting a good one? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
or like
that way.
Seeing it and being like, that's mine now.
Well, that way, not only that, if Vince McMahon or whoever wants to hire that guy away, he's not hiring that guy away. He's only hiring that man away. He's not hiring that character away.
Got it.
So it's that sort of thing.
Start your own gimmick, motherfucker.
Yeah, and they've sued back and forth over the years over this. Scott Hall got sued. We talked about that on the episode because Vince sued WCW and him.
The Rock was dealing with it for a while. I think did he let The Rock have it? Eventually?
Yeah, because he still works there, The Rock. The Rock has been under contract continuously this whole time. Even when he doesn't work there for 2 years, they're still paying him.
Yeah, but I mean...
Just to be...
When he's
just to not say some other wrestling company's good.
And to also be, like, the best wrestler on earth. When
he wants to come back. But, like, Steve Austin? When was the last time Steve Austin wrestled? I don't know, it's fucking years and years ago, as far as for a major promotion or whatever. They have never not paid him because... they don't want somebody else to hire him just to be a spokesman.
Right.
Holy shit, that would get a lot of attention. So they've paid him all the way through, and just he can do whatever he wants with his name. But like the Ultimate Warrior, the wrestler changed his name legally to Warrior. To protect himself because Vince McMahon didn't want him to use Ultimate Warrior somewhere else.
What a terrible thing.
It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, he changed his name legally to Warrior.
Wow.
So
I get that. I get trying to, protect your brand and protect your investment and the business that you've created. But for fuck's sake, you're ruining people's lives.
It's ridiculous.
And you're not even paying their health insurance, and they've got major issues.
But
you're fucking them, and then you're fucking them.
But we made a doll of you.
Yeah,
doesn't that make it better? You could hang it up on your wall, and when your kids go, "What's that?" You go, "That was me before." I don't know. I don't remember very well because I've been hitting that a lot.
I'm not sure what that is.
Not positive.
But it sure looks like me.
Absolutely. Speaking of wrestling, quick, what was that? It was
it was
Collar and Elbow.
Collar and Elbow.
There was another brand. Collarandelbowbrand.com is Al Snow's brand.
Yeah.
And he sent us a couple of T-shirts, and
the coolest.
First of all, the T-shirts, their merch is awesome. First of all, and Al Snow, if you're a wrestling fan, Al Snow is probably one of the top 10 underrated wrestlers in the history of the business. So
I got a shirt that
cool
says,
dude, support him.
Living the dream, James. And it has a pair of cowboy boots, and it says Collar and Elbow on it. And I fucking love it.
It's your perfect shirt. There's
going to look great.
So many cool designs there, so I just wanted to plug those guys because they were real nice to us. And
thank you, Al.
Good dude. We like Al a lot. So February 2008, War Machine's got some other problems. In addition to being legally called War Machine from now on, which is...
it's a tough life.
It's like to be a cop. You pull this guy over. First of all, he's got neck tattoos and all this shit, which fine if you have neck tattoos, but if you're a cop, if you see a guy in a suit and tie with no neck tattoos, you're less leery of an MMA fighter covered in neck tattoos because he looks like an MMA fighter and he's covered in neck tattoos. So you walk up to the car, license please, and he hands you a fucking card that says War Machine on it, and you're like, well, why did I take this job? What am I doing? What am I doing?
I scaled walls and did so many sit-ups. I had to run a mile under a certain time to do this, to give a ticket to this guy with this mangled ear.
I fought in the war, man. I was in Iraq for 3 tours. I'm gonna deal with this fucking idiot now?
It's in Desert Storm.
This sucks.
This guy's name is War Machine.
What is he, 60?
Yeah. Which war were you in, sir? Which one? Because I was in a war, and I'm giving you a ticket tonight.
War Machine.
Just for this stupid name.
So he ends up, apparently there was a felony charge. He pleads guilty to avoid a felony charge here. There was a charge of assault and battery and on this deal. I'm not sure exactly what happened in this exact one. After this, we're pretty detailed on everything, but for some reason here he gets sentenced, though. You, sir, may fuck off. 3 years of probation and 30 days of community service.
For beating somebody up.
For pleading, he ends up pleading guilty to misdemeanor assault and battery, and that's the charge there. It was a felony, and then he pled it down. So he changes his name, which is just hilarious. It's this time, too, he gets he gets released by the UFC. Not for his legal wranglings or anything like. No, come on, Jimmie. Jesus Christ. Not because he's a scumbag.
Right.
Because he's kind of hard to deal with. That's why. Come on. Dana White's
attitude.
Yes, hard to deal with. You're out. I don't know. Kill 3 people. We'll think about it. Maybe we'll let it settle down for a couple of years.
How is he to deal with?
You never know. Can OJ draw a crowd? Let's find out.
Right.
So he's released. I guess he rejected a fight offered by the UFC there. He rejected a fight, and then he made comments about the death of another fighter, Evan Tanner, who was found dead in the desert, this UFC fighter. War Machine posted on MySpace at the time that he thought that Tanner had gone to the desert to kill himself after he realized his career might be over, and he basically made no money during it. So basically, he was like, that dude realized he had no money and his career was over and he fucked everything up, so he went out and killed himself.
Some wild-ass speculation.
Yeah, medical examiners eventually said that Tanner's death is certainly not even a suicide. It was a murder. And but War Machine, he told that, he said, nope, I stand by my statements. He's just that's the kind of asshole he is.
Yeah.
You could be, oh no, we examined it and it's this, and that. No, it's not. Why? Because it said so?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, then that's... Sure.
Because I got opinions.
I live in War Machine world, and that's just where it happens. And I say what happens, and proof be damned. What a weird... He's a weird guy. So September of 2008, he is in Las Vegas, and he hits another guy in the face here and chokes him out. This is a guy named Darren Zatko. He said that he was visiting San Diego, or he was visiting from San Diego here. He was assaulted outside of a fitness club after calling a group of shirtless men tough guys. Why would you see a bunch of shirtless guys and try to fuck with them, first of all? Why would you do that? Obviously, they're trying to be alpha douches, and obviously they're looking for a fight. Probably
Darren's just gonna knock him down a peg. Come on, Darren.
Yeah. What do you think they're gonna be like? Man, you know what, guys? We should put our shirts on and stop being such assholes. I'm gonna be nicer to my girlfriend from now on. No, that's not what happened. They go, let's go beat that guy up.
Right.
He called us tough guys. You know how I'll prove we're not? We'll beat the shit out of him.
Right.
Show him how not tough guys we are.
He made fun of our banana drinks.
Yeah, exactly. Making fun of our protein.
Right.
Fuck you. He said, this guy Zatko said he was grabbed from behind in a chokehold until he lost consciousness, and then was punched in the face while he was unconscious on the ground and suffered facial fractures and nerve damage.
War Machine was one of the shirtless guys.
Of course he was. Yeah, obviously. He's probably the fucking ringleader of the shirtless guy. If there's any group of people you'd put War Machine as the leader of, the shirtless men, everybody, that's him. Fucking idiot.
I'm not saying anything negative to a man with his shirt off, neck tattoos, and cauliflower ear.
Cauliflower ears.
It's so bad,
Not
too.
to mention, he's pretty jacked. Like, he's got a six-pack, and he's walking with a group of men all looking and acting the same way. Did this guy expect this was going to go well? You know what? You're right, man. We want to buy you a beer. Like, no.
His ear looks like it was lit on fire.
Yeah.
It's a scary ear.
Yeah, he looks like he's been through some battles.
Yeah.
Like he's like a dog that you see. Yeah. And you're like, you've been astray for a while, haven't you, buddy? Like, you figured it out. You figured out how to survive on the streets. You're not new.
He's the dog that sticks around at the Humane Society a few extra weeks. He'll eventually get adopted because he's nice. But it's not for his appearance.
Yeah, eventually a nice blind woman adopts him. Very kind blind woman.
With the scars on his face read a sweet puppy or some shit like that.
Fucking amazing.
In Braille.
In Braille. So November 8th, 2008, he's fighting again.
Yeah.
It's a busy year for fighting. He's been fighting everywhere.
He fights,
Fought out of the ring twice. But
he doesn't stop.
In the ring. Well, he's more fights out of the ring than in the ring this year. That's not a good sign. This is Desert Rage Full Contact Fighting 4.
That's where he should be.
Oof, it's perfect, right?
Yeah.
He fights David the Viking Anderson. He's fighting like characters. Yeah. He's fighting Irish stereotypes and the Viking Anderson, and what was the other guy? J-Rock was like a very black guy. Like, this is like if someone made a crappy movie about a low-level MMA things.
Yeah.
These are the fighters, how they name them. Well, this will be the Viking. He's going to fight the farm boy.
Right.
You fight the farm boy, then you fight the Viking, and then there's a black dude. He's J-Rock. He's tough. He's from the streets. You know, that would be like your terrible screenplay.
This is UFC if Vince McMahon was in charge.
Exactly. Which pretty much it's the same thing. I'm sorry, but I'm not even saying the competition's the same thing. I'm saying the people in charge are the same thing.
Same hubris.
Same person. I swear to Christ. Dana White was taken, they took skin cells off of the bottom of Vince McMahon's nutsack, and they made Dana White, I think, at some point back then.
They just scraped the pool at the bottom of Vince McMahon's pedicure water.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And used that.
I like the business acumen, but can he be more of a charlatan?
Right.
Is that possible? Is it possible? Like he's a scumbag,
right.
but publicly he kind of acts like he's not, and he'll give you his side of the story, and you go, maybe, what if we had somebody who just doesn't even do that?
None of that.
Who's just like, I'm a monster. Thanks for having the press conference. Have a good one.
Could we have like a little bit chubby, a little bit jacked Lex Luthor be in charge of something?
That'd be perfect.
That'd be great.
That's my guy, and he's gonna buy fucking he's gonna buy fucking Pandemic Island, and he's gonna stage fucking fights there, and the fighters aren't allowed to leave until they win, and that's gonna be the next thing. If you don't think that fucking island is gonna turn into something on its own, like you have to stay here and clean out the sewer systems until you win a fighters. I don't know. He's gonna have something.
You have to build.
It's gonna turn into a reality show.
Yeah,
it's gonna turn into a reality show. I guarantee you. You fight for food or something.
Right.
Like there's a luau and the loser doesn't get to come. I don't fucking know.
It's Firefest, but it's Fighter Fest with a Y.
Yeah, exactly. Except it's with even more disease, I'm sure, than Firefest.
Somehow it's going to be so much more. It's going to be not just privileged white people in the middle of somewhere eating a cheese sandwich. This is going to be monsters eating like Dinty Moore.
Fighting each other over Dinty Moore. Over Dinty Moore. That's what it is. Everybody gets a bindle when you step off the boat.
Be honest, I want to see it.
There you go.
Get the cameras rolling.
So, David the Viking Anderson has a tattoo on his face that goes from his ear to his mouth on the right side of his face that's teeth. Like it looks like teeth, one of those tattoos.
Like a fighter jet kind of teeth, or like
no,
actual, like a skull?
Like teeth. Like if you were to, if you see a skeleton, you see the teeth like that. Wow. He has that tattooed on the side of his face. Maybe he did that out of just sheer sadness from being an 0-4 career MMA fighter.
Why would you get that tattoo?
He lost all 4 fights that he ever fought, all in the first round.
Why would you have that tattoo?
Why would you keep hiring this guy to fight people in front of a crowd? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know. He hasn't earned that tattoo as far as I'm concerned.
Not
now
at
you
all.
got to go back to Jiffy Lube and be like, I'm really sorry, guys.
That's what I mean. You got to try to fucking get a job now with this.
You're not going to be a banker with that shit on your face.
You're not going to be anything with that shit on your face. You should look for a good felony to commit, because prison's good for you.
Hope you have a huge cock and can start an OnlyFans.
Maybe. It's possible. So he wins with TKO from punches. War Machine does. He's 6-2. Now, December 2008, he's in court. War Machine here. He's pleading guilty to felony assault in the choking incident here, the Zatkow incident, that guy, tough guy incident, we'll call it. Charges are later reduced on this to a misdemeanor. And the judge said that the plea could result in just misdemeanor punishment as well. Zatko, the victim, and the prosecutor both said that was acceptable to them if it was a low-level thing. Zatko said, quote, "I'm not interested in destroying somebody's life. Plus, he might find me and beat the shit out of me again."
He can destroy mine.
No shit. The prosecutor, David Williams III, a junior's junior, he said he agreed to have the charges lowered because Zatkow didn't oppose the lower charges, and the injuries ended up not being as serious as initially thought. There was no nerve damage. So, And also, the prosecutor said that War Machine's career as a professional fighter was not a factor at all. In charging him up or down, he's just wasn't a factor. So he also has to complete 30 days of public works service, such as picking up trash on the road, and pay $2,300 in restitution, and stay away from Zatkow. Don't choke him anymore, please. That's about that. So February 27, 2009. This is XMMA 7. Inferno, which sounds like a gay porn. XMMA 7 Inferno sounds like a gay MMA like
to get hot
parody.
in here.
Yeah, it's a parody of gay MMA fighters. He fights Guillaume Il Toro Di Lorenzi.
Yeah.
So the Bull here. 10-2 career record for the Bull. This is a rear naked choke in the first round win for War Machine. So War Machine's doing well. April 25th, 2009. This is UWC 6 Capital Punishment. He fights Timothy the Good Soldier Woods.
Capital Punishment is what
capital, but capital, like at the Capitol. It's in D.C.
Oh,
Capital Punishment, yeah.
That's a bad pun.
It's a bad, yeah.
Also, it's
they were
about
like, we have to. Yeah. We have to!
It's also about called legal murder.
Yeah, how many MMA events have been called this in the city, probably? Everyone that goes to, they're like, oh, they're going to do it again, aren't they? Christ, whatever. So the Good Soldier's a 7-7 career fighter. This is a rear naked choke in the second round win for War Machine, 8-2. July 11, 2009, he fights Eric Perry Montano. Eric seems like a first name. Why you got to be Perry too?
Right.
I don't know what that's not really a nickname.
What's the last name?
Montano.
I don't think there's two Eric Montanos fighting.
Probably not.
No.
So Eric Perry. I don't know. 8-6 career record. This is a armbar submission win in the third round for War Machine, 9-2. September 5th, by the way, fighting's over real soon. September 5th, 2009, XFC 9 Evolution fights Mikey Gomez and beats him up here. TKO with punches, 10-2 for War Machine. October 8th, 2009, he fights Bulletproof David Mitchell.
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
Yeah.
Bulletproof. He's 22-7 career record, which is a fine record also. This goes all 3 rounds. And it's a split decision loss for War Machine.
Oh, no.
Brings him to 10-3. So it's at this point, Jesus Christ, that's October 8th, 2009. Halloween that year, October 31st, 2009.
Hell yeah.
This is when War Machine announces that, you know what? I'm going to keep fighting. I love fighting, obviously. I'm pretty good at it. And it's the only thing that lets me get my aggression out. But I'm also going to be in porn.
Oh.
That's my new career.
He wants porn. He wants it bad.
Oh, he's going to be in porn.
Yeah. Gay porn?
No, straight porn.
All right. I thought maybe these titles of these fights, he was like, this is getting me so hot.
Yeah, I think that XMMA Inferno one, he was like, this is kind of sexy. I want to be in a film. He's like, I'm going to call my first film that. So he does that. He revealed that he signed with LA Direct Models, and his first scene was with Riley Steele as the actress. I don't know.
She's hot.
She's hot?
She is.
There you go.
Yeah.
So he says, quote, in life, I have come to learn that all I enjoy is eating, sleeping, fighting, and fucking.
Samesies, bro.
I'm living the dream, getting paid to fight and fuck. What more could I ask for?
Okay.
That's a hell of a quote right there.
Him and Jessica White.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. What is he, Hank the Third here? What the fuck is going on? Except eating wasn't involved in that. No time to eat when you're that drunk, I guess. So that's why. But yeah, that's exactly what I heard.
We can't afford to eat, so we're just fighting and fucking.
Fight, fuck. That's it. I don't understand
it. What the shit is happening?
How weird is that?
What a statement.
What a statement. All I enjoy is eating, sleeping, fighting, and fucking. So he's like the skier, Nycanen guy, who's Matty Nycanen, who I think it was episode 80 something.
Yeah.
Where they asked him, we talked about this earlier, where they said, what he was a ski jumper.
Right.
And he did these crazy, death-defying jumps. Hundreds of feet.
Yeah.
I mean, it was absolutely, you would shit your pants if someone told you had to do this. They'd say, what are you thinking before you go off into this dangerous thing? What's on your mind? And he said, pussy.
Pussy's always on my mind.
And they said, what? He goes, pussy's always on my mind. Okay.
To a reporter.
Thank you. NBC News. We appreciate it.
Print that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That was after the Olympics. Yeah. They asked him, what do you think? You can hear the music in the background of the interview.
His national anthem of Switzerland or whatever the fuck.
They're showing
Finland?
him. Finland. And he's like lit, you know what I mean? Like the warm lighting.
Yeah.
And he's like, pussy. Pussy's always on my mind, Gail. I don't know why Gail is interviewing him.
It's got to be
seems
Gail.
right, right? So, shit. So, now his brother is mad about this. His brother's mad at him for getting into porn.
Of course.
Because, it's kind of disgracing.
Because it's stupid.
It's very stupid. His brother Michael says he didn't agree with War Machine getting into the porn business.
Yeah.
But he said at that point, this is what his brother said, War Machine was having sex with so many different women anyway that he used to call him Whore Machine.
Wow.
That was his brother's nickname for him.
Oh, my God.
Whore Machine.
Yeah.
Which is fucking hilarious. I'm sorry.
And
that's amazing. It's gross and it's amazing. He's a whore. What's up, whore machine? That's fantastic. Sounds like it makes whores, though, doesn't it? Like it pumps them out.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're
I mean,
12 whores an hour, boss. Excellent. Turn it up. Turn it up to level 8. Let's see if we can get more.
Good Lord.
So, horror machine. So his brother said, quote, he had sex every day, multiple times a day, with multiple girls sometimes. So you might as well get paid at some point, right?
Yeah, I see the logic, but
that's a sex addiction.
Yeah,
that's not even fun.
No.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
He's got an issue.
Right.
Yeah, a big issue.
I mean, a lot of people get into a lot of different careers for that opportunity one day to have that, and that's clearly what his motivation is.
Obviously,
in fighting is finding women,
and also taking out aggression. He's got a lot of aggression to take out. Think about the things that happen as a kid. That's going to be an angry kid.
Yeah.
So apparently, also he's got an angry cock as well,
and also he doesn't respect women at all.
Oh God, no!
What he watched his mother.
Yeah, his mother was a drug addict who married a guy who he thought was a piece of shit.
Right.
So who in his mind, I'm sure he'll say ruined his life.
Yeah,
is what he's going to do. So
of course,
probably. So anyway, here he stars in 4 films.
Really?
In 2009 alone.
Wow.
We'll go over all of them, of course. He stars in My Sister's Hot Friend 19.
Okay.
So that is 19 is in the 18th sequel.
Right.
Not like she's 19.
Right.
Just for clarification, My Sister's Hot Friend, 19 could be.
And we've done 18 of these.
This is the 19th installment.
She's got a lot of friends.
She's got a lot of hot friends. My sister's awesome. That's what 20 should be called. My sister's awesome. It's just what number 20 is. Sweet. She's just so awesome. 20 movies worth of hot friends. She's just the best.
Wow.
Also, Naughty Office, which is a Office take, obviously. Then
of the show?
Of the show, it's a porn parody.
Okay.
Then he does a TV series. I don't know if this was on what. I don't know who airs this, but it says TV series. My Sister's Hot Friend.
He got on TV with it.
So I don't know.
So good.
If they made like a internet series, like a web series of like My Sister's Hot Friend. But he's in it, apparently.
I want to know which character of The Office
I have no idea.
He parodies. Is he Jim?
Are there any with neck tattoos? Any that look like Hawaiian dudes with neck tattoos walking around with no shirts on, choking people?
So.
Is that a weird thing for fucking The Office?
The only like really ethnic guy in The Office is a gay man, so that wouldn't work.
Then he's in another TV series called Real Slut Party.
Okay.
Real Slut Party's in 2 episodes of this. One is called Backyard Party, and the other is called House Party of the Year, which, judging by the title of the series, I think every party's the House Party of the Year, is it not? No, am I wrong?
Full of women that just want to fuck you.
Yeah, if that's your premise, go with it, is what I'm getting at.
It's a hell of a party.
That's a party. So
I've never been to a party like that.
No, I can assure you, I've never been to that at all. Ever. And I would have probably been like, I don't like it here if I was.
I've never walked into a party and everybody was like,
that? I smell.
Thank God you're here. We've been waiting to fuck you.
I smell jizz. I got to leave now. This is not good. Do you smell jizz when you walk in?
Yeah.
It's too much.
It
too much jizz.
smells like you guys started already.
Yeah, I think I'm late. Am I late? I'm late. I'm going to go home now. I'm sorry. I thought it was 2. I didn't know we were going at 1.
Clearly, at minimum, 15 minutes late.
Jesus. Oh, wait a second. No, look at her. She looks like a melted candle. We're going to go with. Yeah, she's already done the whole bukkake. Yeah. We're going to go with at least an hour.
It's
been a while
for sure.
That's at least 8 guys worth of jizz. No, bad stuff here. So, November 2009, there is a porn star named Brooke Haven. And she performed. Do you know this young lady,
no.
Jimmie?
Go on.
She performed. Well, you knew the other one.
I might tonight, though.
She performed. You got to look her up. She performed with War Machine during a porn, whatever.
Brookhaven.
Brookhaven. Yeah, which Brookhaven is like a
It's a place, isn't it?
There's a town on Long Island, Brookhaven. There's Brookhavens everywhere.
It's fascinating.
She's probably from Brookhaven.
She is probably
called herself Brook with an E.
They're all named after her.
Yeah, either that or her vagina is a haven. I'm not sure which one.
Or a babbling
Or
brook.
it's a brook. It's either one. Either way, it's a welcoming name.
Yeah.
So apparently she said that they had a scene. She said at first she was a little, this is a Bleacher Report had a pretty good thing on this. She said that at first she was a little, apprehensive, but then after a while she said War Machine was, quote, very, very friendly on set.
Yeah.
Nice guy. So she invited him to her birthday party, which was held in a Van Nuys, California porn studio.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? Your birthday sucks. Your birthday's disgusting.
Yeah.
You're going to work, basically to the office to have your birthday party.
That's a great point. If you are a receptionist and you have everybody come back to the office to hang out there, no one would do that. You're an accountant and you're going to have people come to the accounting office?
Apparently.
Fuck that.
And everybody attended was in porn, pretty much, she said. About 60 people, she said, were there. She said War Machine actually got there early. He wasn't late or anything, and he even helped blow up balloons.
Oh.
I got there early and helped set up the party. And nice to put out the punch, I'm sure. You know how it is, but there's jizz in the punch. Don't drink the punch. But she wasn't there for that. She just heard that he showed up doing that. She says, quote, by the time I showed up at the party, he was wasted.
He was drunk already.
And I guess his date for the evening was another porn star, Alana Ray.
Yep.
Yep, I know her.
Very familiar.
Yep.
Can see her face now.
Yeah, now, well, it's funny that you say that. You can see her face the way you put it. Haven says she saw War Machine slap Ray in the face.
Oh,
that Jimmie has seen. Yeah, and Jimmie's not happy about this.
What an
no
asshole.
one should be happy. After he saw her talking to some other guy.
Yeah, another porn star with a bigger dick.
So, yeah, he got mad, went over and slapped her in the face, which is insane.
That's
First
crazy.
of all, you're two porn people. You're jealous of porn. The whole thing is, I get it, but I don't know.
Why are you in that relationship? You clearly can't handle
That's what I mean.
Right.
Maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship with someone who does that for a living, and you knew did that for a living. It's not like
you
she
also
surprised
do that
you.
for a living.
Not to mention,
right.
Look, listen to what you did.
This is very hypocritical.
You think? Yeah. So Haven says, quote, a few of the guys kind of approached him. It was kind of like, hey, man, don't be hitting girls. That's not necessary here. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Not like, hey, you motherfucker, because they didn't want to get the shit beat out of them.
Right.
So they were all like, hey, dude, maybe don't hit women.
Right.
Like, imagine that. Imagine if you went in there and slapped her. Everybody would have come over and kicked the shit out of you in 2 seconds.
Beat the living hell out of me.
2
also,
minutes.
you got to understand that porn star guys are jacked and they look pretty great.
Yeah, but they're
those
not
guys
professional
don't know how
fighters.
to use those muscles.
And
Those are simply for camera angles.
They take roids.
That's
and,
it. Right.
They oil themselves up. This is where I want to say, and this goes for prison too, that we're going to talk about in a minute. The difference between a guy, like just somebody walking around in the streets that's reasonably tough, that maybe got in a fight 5 years ago or something, and a professional fighter who's like in the middle of a fighting career. It's the difference between shooting a bullet and throwing one. You can't even compare the level of the mode that a guy like this War Machine could snap into, where he is all business, knows what he's doing, will take you apart. You won't even know what's going on yet because you're not used to this and you don't do this for a living.
A bone coming through your skin.
That's the thing.
It's the difference between chewing on a tree branch and putting it in a wood chipper.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Michael Carbajal fight that guy in the parking lot?
I still haven't seen it.
There's a gas station video. I think it was at 32nd Street and Greenway from like the mid 90s of Michael Carbajal, who fought at like 110 pounds.
Right.
He's probably $125 walking around, little tiny dude, and somebody started shit with him in a gas station parking lot. Much bigger guy. Carbajal hit him about 20 fucking times from the time he was standing, punched him all the way down to the ground as he was just destroyed this guy. The guy didn't even know what was going on because you can't even do it. It's silly. So nobody on the outside wants to approach and fight a professional fighter. They're going to fuck you up, period. Don't do it. Make fun of them from a safe distance through a podcast microphone. And then if they say anything, you just make fun of them more. Hope they can't find your house. I have health insurance now. Fuck it. Eat dicks, War Machine. So, they said that. She says that, they said, we don't need that. Quote, and he just went into a rage. The look on his face was like a silverback gorilla on a rampage. He had a blank look on his face and he just started hitting people, anyone who was in his way.
Yeah.
Just because they said, hey, please don't hit women at our party.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's not like it's his house even. Where he was like, it's my house, I'll hit my woman if I want, or some redneck shit like that.
I also get the reference and the Animal Kingdom approach there, and like showing that that's what it was, but it felt a little racist.
Yeah. Well, he's half German and half Mexican,
right.
so I've never heard a half German, half Mexican be referred to as a silverback gorilla as a racial slur. So we're gonna.
Did he like slap the ground?
We're gonna call that not
shake his shoulders.
No, but after he hit 3 people, he opened a banana and ate it in one bite.
So I feel like that was
yeah. So I could understand at that point. You were like, oh man, he's like a lion. Then you were like, oh wait, no, no, it's like a gorilla. I'm sorry.
Started pushing a tire around the living room.
Yeah. Oh, that's totally different.
Beat on a Samsonite briefcase.
That's all I see. Now, War Machine says this incident was nothing but a, quote, huge misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Just a giant misunderstanding. He said this is ridiculous.
I wanted to punch her, not them.
I mean, I was hitting who I wanted to hit.
Right.
He said that he was swarmed by 10 men at the party after they said he hit Ray, which he said he absolutely didn't do at all. Mm-hmm. And they just came up and attacked me, which a bunch of guys, that's the guy, let's go beat the shit out of the guy who could beat the shit out of all of us. That's
how many guys do
who does that at a
How many? There's 10 of us. Do you think you could beat us all up?
Let's try.
Let's give it a run.
Let's give it a whirl. Come on, everybody. He says, quote, once the initial blows were thrown, I continued to punch anyone that came toward me and that I thought was a threat. I was working my way toward my car, and everywhere I looked, there were angry people trying to block me off. At one point, even a girl, I think Brookhaven, was punching me in the head. So everybody was trying to get him under control because he was out of control and drunk and punching people.
He's trying to leave the party and get into his car, and he's hammered.
Hammered, wasted.
What an idiot.
Yeah, that's the thing. After he punches a bunch of people.
And he's the victim.
And I didn't know what I was. Shit, I was just doing something. Christ almighty, I'm good now.
I'm here to celebrate.
Here to have a good time. May 15th, 2010. This is a fight now, a legal fight.
Yeah.
He's still fighting. This is Bama 3.
Okay.
BAMMA 3, and it's in Birmingham, England.
Oh.
You wouldn't expect that, right?
Hey.
It's a Bama 3 in Birmingham. Oh, Alabama. Nope, England.
Why are we calling it that?
I have no fucking idea, and I don't care enough because there's so much crime it doesn't matter.
That's too confusing, England.
No shit. He fights Zach Light, who is known as the Libson Outlaw.
Oh.
So there you go. He's Portuguese.
Yeah.
He's a 9-11 career fighter, and this is a rear naked choke win in the first round for old War Machine. He had to make a comeback here with a good win, so I feel like they got him somebody he could beat. July 9th, 2010. This is Jesus Christ. This is TPF 5 Stars and Stripes. He fights John the Natural Alessio, who's a 35-17 career fighter, and he loses to a rear naked choke, making him 11-4. Also, he's in 7 porns that year.
Wow.
He's in, let's see here. He's in Naughty Office 20.
He's going for it.
20, yeah. He's in Nurse Jobs.
Oh.
Here's one. Big Sausage Pizza. He's in.
Gross.
That sounds disgusting.
It does.
Shauna Goes to War.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that is, but I guess war with his
War's house.
War machine.
Yeah, right.
Wars with his cock. Porn Star Athletics 3.
That I could get into.
Is that like Battle of the Network Stars in the 70s where they have like guys from sitcoms do relay races against each other? I don't know.
Watch.
He's in an episode of the TV series Real Wife Stories. The episode he's in is called This Cock's for You.
Oh, boy.
So there's that.
I wonder what happened in that one.
I don't know. I'm not positive, but I could take a guess probably. I think I could write you a synopsis.
Yeah.
And next, he's in a TV series again called Big Tits at School.
Oh.
And he's in an episode called Nerd Sex. So there's that.
Porn's got to stop that, too. It's so ridiculous. They're like, this guy's a nerd. They just put glasses on a guy with a neck tattoo.
Yeah, they put glasses on a guy with a neck tattoo, and yeah. That's it.
Ridiculous.
Nerd. Isn't he a nerd now?
Yeah, what a dork.
Look at him. He's got a polo shirt that's too tight for him. Super nerdy, right? He's ripped and has neck tattoos. Total dork. Shit. He's also busy doing other things like assaulting female bartenders and punching bouncers in separate incidents.
What?
He's in 2 different bars. One of them, he's charged with 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
This is 2 different bars out in California here. During one incident, he smashed several glasses on a bar top when he was asked for ID. He started sweeping the bar off, basically, and knocking glasses everywhere.
I can see how you get there.
Yeah, and a female bartender, was hit with a bunch of glass during the incident as he was breaking glass. There was that. She says, quote, he got more and more irritated and then swiped his arm toward me, swiped the whole bar clean, and there was quite a few bottles on the bar and the glasses hit me. So you can't do that in public.
No.
The other incident was at a place called the Thrusters Lounge, which for a porn star MMA fighter, that's the best name of a bar you could ever get. Thrusters. Is that for us? I think it's for us.
It sounds like it's only porn stars in there.
And MMA fighters.
Right.
You're thrusting your punch. I'm always thrusting something. My hips, my fists, something. This is in Pacific Beach. Apparently he was taken into custody after he beat the living shit out of a bunch of people in a bar. There was an altercation, and then he was arrested outside the bar. Apparently him and another male were fighting with the bouncers, and when the cops tried to approach the situation, he stopped fighting and ran away. So the cops eventually caught up with him and cuffed him. And he ended up, the picture of him being put in the car, he's got one of those spit bags on his head, too.
Oh, he's a spitter.
So apparently he was not being cooperative at all. He's doing spitting and doing that sort of thing.
Dana White should put these guys in just cages until it's their turn to fight.
They might as well.
They shouldn't be allowed out.
No, just put if you're going to have someone that's over aggressive like this, if you have a dog that's too aggressive, you're not allowed to let him run around your front yard. You have to keep him in a cage
or on a leash. Right.
Or drugged or behind closed doors.
Always monitored.
Maybe put him to sleep if it's too much. I don't know. You never know. I'd be okay with Dana White putting some of these fighters down. The problem is the more aggressive, he'd be putting the passive ones down.
Right.
That's the thing. He'd be like a dog fighting
He'd be
person.
like Michael Vick.
Yeah, he'd be Michael Vick.
Putting down the pussies.
I drowned the pussies. Thanks. But this guy, War Machine guy's fucking great.
Yeah.
He's always thrusting. Now, August of 2010, he gets sentenced for this. You, sir, may fuck off. He's sentenced to a year in county jail.
Really?
For felony assault on this one.
In L.A. County?
Oh, absolutely. A year in county jail. This was at, San Diego.
San Diego.
BB, yeah. He's sent to the George Bailey Detention Center and served some time in solitary confinement there. Now, this is where it gets fun before it gets bad. He's got a blog in prison. By the way, bonus episode this week is we're going to give you a touch of it now, but we're going to read about 2 months worth of prison blogs of War Machine and see how an asshole does in prison for 2 months, and we're going to just make fun of him unmercifully. So that's for Patreon this week. It's coming out Wednesday? Yeah, Tuesday night, Wednesday, $5 and above on there. You're going to want this because we're really going to rip him up. One of them, let's start with his blog. Here's his quotes here. His choices, his choice quotes. Quote, so it's Christmas Day and I'm laying in my bunk wondering, why the hell do American men get married? He says, okay, there's one guy in here for slapping his wife, one for yelling at his wife, and one for beating some guy's ass that disrespected his wife. What the fuck? If your wife is being a bitch, you can't slap her. If your wife is yelling at you, God forbid you yell back. And if some asshole hurts your wife, you can't even protect her. Jesus Christ. Next thing you know, it will be illegal to fuck your wife. LMAO.
He said that.
He said that. LMAO afterwards. That's in there.
Hold on. There's a man in there for yelling at his wife?
That's what he says.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's after he kicked her in the pussy, probably. Right. Let's be honest here. I just yelled at her. Oh, this poor son of a bitch. So then he says, LMAO, maybe then men in this country will get the fucking hint and move. This country forces you to be a bitch, and then you go to jail. Okay. Then there's more.
Yeah.
Okay. He went on to, this is fun here. Quote, the oppression of men, all capital, men, is worse than the oppression of Jews in Nazi Germany. Worse than the slavery of blacks in early America. I'm not exaggerating either.
Slow down.
Every Jew and every black man, both in jail and those who have managed to avoid it, will attest to what I have just written. In order to be... Wow. In order to be elusive and to have longevity, the oppressor has learned to kill men while their bodies remain alive. And with your spirit extinguished, you're nothing but a fucking zombie, a shell of a man waiting to die.
Oh, boy.
He just said...
He's the problem.
This person. Yeah, he's the fucking worst. Oh, let's keep going.
Oh, boy.
Here's something for domestic abuse, a little thing on there. Quote, this Mexican dude just got here, and I guess he found out his wife was hooking behind his back. Jesus Christ. Not fucking around, fucking a guy.
No.
Is a prostitute. Okay.
That'll get me put in jail, too.
I couldn't hit anybody. I'd be so just shocked. You're doing what? I'd be like, oh my, what are you talking about?
So I got a second job. How do you lead into that?
I don't know. We found out. Quote, so he said he slapped the shit out of her and she fell and hit her head and died. Exclamation point.
That ain't it.
But that's not from a slap. He panicked and took her body somewhere and burnt it on a fire. Exclamation point. Anyway, this guy is like a straight immigrant. Quiet little dude, super nice. I feel bad for him. Exclamation point.
He's a murderer.
I mean, what husband wouldn't slap their wife if he caught her being a hooker? Poor guy didn't mean to kill her. I believe him. Exclamation point. Okay.
Oh, his vlog is great.
Oh, I'm telling you, I got some choice shit. Just his opinions on 2 months of jail. Here is his opinions on racism. Shall we? What do you think about this? Judging by the one we had, the intro earlier. Yeah. Here we go. Quote, I think racism, as it was, is pretty much over. There is only one part of it that remains, and that is no white, Mexican, Italian, no one wants their sister, mother, ex-girlfriend, current girlfriend, or any other pretty white girl to date a black guy. Exclamation point.
What?
I share this opinion, and I'm definitely not racist. Well, clearly you're not a racist. Thanks for clearing that up, War Machine. For a minute, I was like, this guy sounds racist. So I'm glad he said that, because I was really starting to judge him.
Black guys to date, War Machine? Are you saying stick to your own? Because that's called racism.
That's called the definition of racism. Yeah. But I figured out why! Exclamation point. He loves exclamation points. The one thing stopping complete integration and ending racism is the, all capital letters, myth that blacks have bigger dicks than other races. That's it. So he's saying that because people say that blacks have bigger dicks than other people, then none of it would happen otherwise.
If we didn't believe that, I don't know what he's we wouldn't have racism.
This is on asking women for money in prison. He says, quote, people are lame. I see some guys in here, grown men, on the phone, straight screaming at their grandmothers for not sending them enough money each week for snacks. While there I am, getting mad at my wife for sending me cards all the time because I know she needs every penny right now. Don't want to sound racist or whatever.
But
is the next word. The blacks are the absolute worst about this. Don't want to sound racist or whatever, but I hate black people. No racist. Are you out of your fucking mind?
I wish he just threw in, and they smell funny too.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that.
And they can't swim.
What the
fuck are you talking about here? Okay. I don't know when or how it was put into their mentalities, but they're all about being a pimp and breaking they bitches' pockets. LOL. Exclamation point.
Oh, boy.
Not just in jail either. They're always bragging about how their girlfriends got good jobs, maybe two, and how they give their checks to them and get themselves all pronouns, you fucking asshole. Get themselves all nice and shit and kick back all day and blah, blah. I don't know, but I could never do that to a woman I cared about. Keep that.
What?
He won't take her money, but you'll find out what he will do to a woman he cares about. Shit, I couldn't even use a girl like that I didn't even care for. At the same time, though, women do it to men all the time. ... Okay. Now, this is his other thing. You'll like this one. Quote, why is it okay for women to admit they have rape fantasies, but if a man were to, it's the end of the world. He's disgusting, evil, etc. I've heard from countless women that they have this fantasy, but never from a man. Why? And does having a fantasy mean you may do it? Do people not? Oh, he's talking about actual raping, not being raped.
Right.
Those are different.
Like
those are different.
He's acting like he's a bad man because he has fantasies of raping people.
Yeah, it's not the same as a woman. That's a different.
Being dominated is the thing that women like because it feels,
and it's not an actual. They don't actually want an actual
There's
rape.
no
That's
actual
the thing.
fear.
No, they want the guy they like to pretend like they're whatever. That's a different thing. Let's not talk about it. I don't want to get a million tweets about it, but you know what the fuck we're talking about when he's talking about this. This is not the fantasies he means.
All right.
He says, blah, 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 I'm never from a man. Why? Do people not fantasize about countless things every day that they may never do? How many times have you fantasized of punching your boss? Did you ever do it? I bring it up because in these books I'm reading, the Kent Family Chronicles, there's been a few rape scenes, and I won't lie, shit got me horny as hell. Yeah, you're a bad person.
Oh, my God.
I felt guilty at first because I knew it's something that I'd never do and something that I believe is wrong. Remember that quote? In fact, I have fantasized a couple times of going on that sex offender website, stalking and killing some of them. Okay, so that's his deal there. Yeah, so let's see.
He has some fascinating thoughts.
Yeah, he does. That's Nazi Germany again.
What?
Let's see here. This is the end of the other one here. He says that slavery. Okay, the oppression of men is worse than the oppression of Jews in Nazi Germany and the slavery of blacks in America. I'm not exaggerating either. I told you all that part.
Yep.
Being a man is balls, not brawn. So don't think you are too weak or small to be the man I'm talking about. So many of you are men, all capitals, but if you got trapped by the oppressor, every time you fight the urge to tell your wife no, or you tell your son, don't punch the bully, go tell instead, you're letting the oppressor win. Think on it. P.S. Before people cry about me comparing the oppression of men to the Holocaust and slavery, let me illustrate a few things. The oppressor has learned from history that dead bodies attract too much attention to what's going on. Or, yes, there would be millions of dead men. They'd love that quick fix. In order to be elusive and to have longevity, the oppressor has learned to kill men while their bodies remain alive.
Okay.
That's what he's talking
about.
Also,
you don't have kids. Don't tell me how to raise my son.
Also, yeah, shut the fuck up.
Fuck you.
Don't tell anyone how to do anything.
No.
Here's something, quote, being an alpha male is a real phenomenon. People always seek out to challenge me, seek me out to follow and girls to fuck. Seriously, since I was in kindergarten, I've always been the leader, always got the girl, and always was provoked to fight. And since I always win, I would get in trouble. Bullshit. If I wasn't tough, I'd be the world's biggest victim and would get nothing but compassion. Just because I win fights that others start. I'm a criminal. Fuck the laws in this country. Okay.
Oh, boy.
And, yeah.
His logic is fucked, man.
And here's the last one for now. Quote, guys used to do dumb, rowdy shit, and people just sighed and said boys will be boys. Now it's boys will be horrible, evil men and should be locked away for life. After all, look at the prisons. They're full of men, not women. Actually, there's a shitload of women's prisons, and there's a ton of full of women.
Yeah.
That's because, the women make as much profit for these companies that run the prisons as men do, so they don't give a shit about that.
A body's a body. Yeah, it doesn't matter what genitals are.
They just want somebody at the state will give them $40 a day to feed or whatever,
right.
And then they can give you $20 worth of food and pocket the rest. So, quote, are men evil and women not, or do the laws target and attempt to restrict natural men's behavior? How many of the heroes in American history would avoid prison if they lived today? Davy Crockett, Thomas Jefferson, David Bowie. David Bowie was alive. What the hell is he talking about? David, did he mean... Do you mean Davy Crockett? No, he said that earlier. Yeah. I don't know. Sam Bowie? Did he mean?
I don't know.
I think.
Was David Bowie dead yet?
No, I was talking about the center.
Yeah,
David Sam Bowie. Yeah. General Grant and General Lee. Well, one of them would have been okay. The other one now would be in fucking Guantanamo.
Right.
Shit. George Washington. How many of those American heroes would avoid a felony or two if living today? Probably most of them, as a matter of fact.
Also, David Bowie is British, isn't he?
Yeah, he wouldn't even have been here.
American heroes.
No.
Calm down, mister.
David Bowie wasn't a real alpha male either.
No.
Androgynous would be the best word to describe him that I can think of.
Ubiquitous.
Yeah, ubiquitously androgynous.
Yes.
Women want to bitch and cry about their rights equally. LMAO, men are the ones locked away like animals while women run free.
What?
November 26, 2011, he's out of jail. He's fighting again.
Yeah.
UWF1. Who wouldn't want to hire this guy?
It's about time.
You can hear more. And like we said, we're going to do, it's basically like a narrative of 2 months of prison for him. And it's fucking hilarious. There's an old Polish man you'll be very interested in. Trust me. UWF1, Huerta versus War Machine. He fights Roger El Matador Huerta. 24-12 career. He wins, War Machine does, with the TKO in the third round, 12-4. And he's in a couple of porns too. He's in one called Mr. Choose Asian Beaver 5.
They make him Asian?
I don't know. No, the beaver's Asian, Jimmy, not the guy.
Got it.
It doesn't matter what the guys are.
Right.
So Mr. Choose Asian Beaver 5 and Pure Pleasure Volume 2 he's into. So good for him. That's nice.
Holy shit.
Now, 2012, he is working in a gay nightclub as a topless bottle server.
What?
He's basically working like the VIP section of a gay nightclub where an oiled up man with a six-pack comes over to serve the bottles.
Sweet Jesus.
Apparently, somebody made a comment that he didn't like, and he started beating the shit out of some gay guy in the middle of a gay nightclub for being gay, which you can't do. He came there to be gay.
Right.
The whole point of the place is to fucking gay it up all you want. Be comfortable because everyone here is, like-minded. And he's like a fucking, probably an oiled up, sparkly, shirtless fucking guy who's delivering drinks, and he's like, how dare you objectify my body? It's like, no.
You are the bait with which we are selling all this booze.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck
you
up.
To come over.
The girls at Hooters don't freak out whenever you go, hey, those are nice tits.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
If it's a straight club with guys in it, you're going to have
or when I order my
large-breasted women delivering the bottles.
I order my beers from your nipples. They expect that because that's what they're there for.
If Jimmy's bringing bottles over, no one's ordering more bottles. They're like, who cares? I don't mean...
No,
maybe
just keep your chest hairs out of my martini.
I meant guys would be, they don't want to fuck you. Maybe they would, but
most people don't.
Less than him, though. I don't know. Some people will fuck you. You can get it, Jimmy. I'll throw one at you. Don't worry, pal. So he is sentenced to a year in jail for this attack. It's a pretty good attack, and since he was just in jail for pretty much the same exact thing, they're like, why don't we go ahead and put you back in?
So he's back in jail.
Back in jail in 2012. He's in jail for about, I want to say 8 months or so, and then October 29th, he's released from jail. He does put out a film in 2012, which is good. He stars in a movie called Cock Hits the Spot 4. So that's a good one there, I think.
I love the titles.
Oh, you're going to love in about 10 minutes what's coming up.
My favorite.
Mr. Choose Asian Beaver 5. It's that it's 5 that makes it funny. If it was 3, it wouldn't have been as funny.
You can get that at the wet market.
No, you can. Definitely. July 13, 2013, he's still fighting. He's fighting for Bellator now, which is a pretty big company. Good. Bellator 96 versus Blas Avina, who's an 8-7 career fighter. He wins with a TKO with punches in the first round. It's at this point that he starts dating a porn star, like having a serious relationship with a porn star named Christy Mack.
Yes.
Now, Christy Mack is in a shitload of movies.
Yes, she is.
Shall we go over a few of them?
I love it.
Well, shall we? Okay. Let's start with back in 2012 when she started Tits to Die For 2.
Okay.
So apparently somebody else had it. Mr. Anal.
Oh.
Which is
not bad.
Not so bad. Hi, I'm Mr. Anal. No, Mr. Clean's going to be late. I'm Mr. Anal. It's a different guy. Then Let's Try Anal. Okay, she's in after that.
May as well. She's good at it.
In a film called Facial Fest, which sounds... that's good.
I get the point.
Girlfriend Revenge 7, Party of 3.
Oh, those are cuckold movies. Those are tough.
Party of 4.
Oh, no.
Oh, Party of 3, 4. Party of 3, Part 4.
Got it.
Sorry. Doctor Adventures. Hall Pass Ass, which I assume is school themed. Monster Curves. Tan Lines 2. Okay. What is this? Bemonster? I don't know what the fuck you even say that. I don't even know what that is. Baby Got Boobs 10. That's a fucking name.
That's
right
a good
there.
one.
Baby Got Boobs 10. Yeah. Young Girls Love Sex. That's it.
What? Say it again.
Young Girls Love Sex.
Loves sex?
Love.
Oh, okay.
Young girls.
Is Stevie writing titles
love
now?
sex. Young Girls Love Sex. Then she is in Knockin' Boots. Tattooed Anal Sluts. Now,
oh, good Lord.
Tattooed Anal Sluts.
That's one way to contribute to the misrepresentation and disrespect of women.
What kind of actresses we got in this movie?
Tattooed anal sluts.
Yeah, Gus. Dark Knight XXX, a porn parody. She's in that. Anal Lessons. She's in that. I don't know if she's giving or receiving them, but
I realized she did a lot of anal.
She's in another episode of Baby Got Boobs after that. Bra Busters 4.
Yeah.
Getting Schooled. Hot Body Inc. Big Tits at School.
Big Asses at School.
Big Asses. Ink Girls. Planting Seeds 3.
Okay.
Girls Will Be Boys.
I don't like that one at all.
I think that's a strap-on movie. I'm going to go ahead and guess. That seems like it.
It seems like some Dom stuff.
Big Wet Tits 12.
Okay.
Porn Stars Like It Big 16. Down to Fuck 3. I don't know if that's down to fuck 3 people or down to fuck part 3, but there's no colon, so I'm not sure. Well, there's a colon, but that's in the movie. 2 Chicks at the Same Time, part 14. Just one called Trashy.
I like that one.
That's good.
That one I'm into.
So Jimmy's going to download on that one. Manuel Ferrara Reverse Gangbang.
What?
Okay, I think that's a bunch of girls. Because a reverse
banging a dude. Banging Mario. What was his name?
Manuel Ferrara.
Banging Manuel.
Yeah. Girls 3 through 46, you're going to be super disappointed. Just so you know.
Girls 3 through 46 get oral.
I got about from each other because I got about. I mean, I'm excited. I got a couple in me, but not more than that.
Wait.
Much more than a couple. Let's go back to that.
To start and then probably
you guys
finish.
are in deep shit. She's in Foot Worship episode of a TV series. Let's see here. Big Butts Like It Big. It's a good one. Skin Tight. Wanderlust. Big Tits at Work in a TV series. Yeah. Let's see. Inked Angels in an episode of Big Wet Butts that year. Dorm Invasion. Slutty and Sluttier 19.
Like Dumb and Dumber?
I think it's like a buddy film. I think they go across
a buddy cop.
They go across the country trying to get more cock.
Slutty and Sluttier.
Slutty and Sluttier. Whores Inc. And I don't know if that's supposed to be like Monsters Inc., but
probably.
with tattoos.
Yeah.
Jack Attack. Tonight's Girlfriend 31. Tits for Hire. Oil Overdose. Baby Got Boobs 14.
Yeah.
It's big on that series.
They love her.
Fat Ass White Girls, Pog 7. PHAT.
Yeah.
My Sister's Hot Friend 35. They've really.
Oh.
I'm happy to hear that series has progressed such a long way.
And they
Good
had
job.
him early in the series,
19.
and then they get her in there.
All the way to 35. Yeah. Oil Overload 10. Big Anal Asses, which seems repetitive, really.
That's redundant as hell.
It's very redundant. Yeah. Rambone XXX, a parody, Rambo.
Right.
I Have a Wife 25. Okay. Hot and Mean.
That I don't like.
One just called Spread, which sounds disturbing. I don't like that at all. A TV series called Dirty Masseur. That's nice. The Seduction of Young Girls. Twisted Taboo Tales 1.
Her career is deep.
It's deep. It's very deep. Almost done here. Delicious Tits. Fat Ass White Girls, Pog 14.
She got back.
Yeah. Horny Housewives 2. So judging by this, she has tattoo, big tits, and big ass is what I'm getting at this. Hot and Mean 13. Yep. She was so hot and so mean last time. Dirty Masseur 8. Big Butts Like It Big 15.
Wow.
You know, sometimes it's kind of like Robert De Niro. You got all those Meet the Fockers sequels. You just get pinned down in the sequels at that point, and it's killing your creativity, really, I think.
But they're starting to hit her like Robert De Niro as a character actress. Throwing her in the big butts and the big tits.
That's true. Big butts. Baby Got Boobs 15. Fat Ass White Girls 12, 14, 15.
How about just doing a porno called
series?
Christy Mack Fucks a Guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's a good one.
Call it that.
Or she can do True Lesbian Lovers, which is the other one she did.
I'm into that.
That's good stuff. And so that's her whole thing here. Now, she met War Machine during a shoot for the January 2014 issue of Hustler. They got together to fuck while they took pictures to put in the magazine. So they had sex during the shoot, and they started dating.
Wild.
Which, you know, hey, to each their own, I guess. You can go one way or the other. Now, she said the relationship progressed, and over time, he became very jealous of her and unhappy and pissed off about her porn career. Not into that at all. She said, quote, he would tell me he was disgusted with me when I would come home.
What?
He would always be very displeased with me if I couldn't have sex with him, and it would make him extremely angry, so he would always ask me to quit.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah, she comes home. She doesn't want to fuck him now. Right. She's been,
I'm sore.
I was going to say, you got to be sore. Actually, there's an interview with her where she talks about being sore.
Really?
All the time. Yeah. She's like, it makes you very sore. These guys are huge and they put you in weird positions. She's like, you put a condom on, forget about it. It's just going to really dry you out then. And
then you come home and I'm going to try to fuck that little guy.
So, no. So, yeah, he would ask her to quit. She said that they jointly made the decision for her to stop performing in porn about a few months into their relationship, and but they would still argue a lot, and apparently he got pretty violent sometimes with her. Yeah. She said that he hit her at least once a month. Oh my God. Which is horrible. Any time's horrible, but that's ridiculous. That's just insane.
If you have a schedule of how many times a month you're getting
once a month or so, he's hitting me. She said, quote, mostly in the face. He would choke me a lot. He would always hit me open-handed. Jesus Christ. She said there was an argument over she gave a ferret cage to her mother, and apparently that caused a big, huge fight that turned violent, and let's find out. She said, quote, he thought I was giving him attitude, so he picked me up by the throat and carried me into the laundry room, slammed the door behind him, and continued to choke at me and hold me down. This is disturbing.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's fucking disturbing. See what I mean? This is dark.
Yeah, he's going far. He's going far for
he's going for fear.
Punishment doesn't fit the crime.
No, and he's going for fear too, is what he wants. He would often take her cell phone so she wouldn't call her mother and tell on him or be upset. She says later on also that on 4 or 5 different occasions he threatened to kill her and her mother if she reported the abuse. Yeah, if you call the cops, I'll kill you and your mom for good measure, in case you don't care about you.
That ferret cage back.
She said she continued to date him, even despite this. She said, quote, I was in love. After each incident, things changed for the better for a small amount of time. Yeah, it's called a cool down period. And then he's a fucking psychopath here. But the cycle never really changes, and you're just kind of so stuck in the cycle that you don't realize it's never going to change, that nothing will ever get better, that things will continue to get worse until it comes to this huge explosion like mine did. Now, also at this point, Brad Dreyer, who is his kind of a workout guy that helps him do shit, he says, quote, he was using steroids, testosterone in limited amounts, but that stuff has a huge effect on your personality. When he wasn't on it, he was a much nicer person. When he was on it, he was like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing going on. Not good. No. And also on top of that, this Dreyer says, quote, he was taking Lexapro. That I know for sure because he asked me to take it. So between the steroid, you can't be mixing.
I hate that shit.
You can't be mixing antidepressants and steroids and weird shit. If you are doing that, you better talk to your doctor and find out how that shit interacts.
You
because
tell a professional that gave you a specific amount. What else you're mixing with that?
That's exactly it. And this Dreyer guy said that War Machine got angry or violent for once every 5 or 6 months. He would have huge outbursts. He said, quote, a ticking time bomb where he's not going to kill someone, but he's still a ticking time bomb. He's still verbally and physically more aggressive than what the situation calls for. And to add gasoline to the fire, he has anger issues toward women, which are really bad. No shit. But September 20th, 2013, he's still in the ring. Bellator 100. He fights Vaud Blood Anderson, but B-L-U-D. And he's a white guy, which is weird. When I saw the blood, I was like, it sounds like a black dude from Southern California calling him like an old school
or a Jamaican plot,
something like that. So this is a 16-3 career fighter. War Machine wins with a rear naked choke in the second round. Christy is at this fight, by the way. Yeah. She's at this fight, and she's also at the next fight, October 28th, 2013, Bellator 104. Where War Machine fights Ron Kessler, who's an 11-9 career fighter, and Kessler beats him with a rear naked choke in round 1, making War Machine 14-5. Okay. So January 2014, the Hustler layout comes out with him and Christie fucking.
Yep.
So that's a big deal. Now, let's talk about this shit. August 8th, 2014. Christie is friends with a guy named Corey Thomas. Okay, Corey Thomas, I found out, was on a reality TV show. Yeah. He was on a VH1 show called Megan Wants a Millionaire. And this was same producers as like Rock of Love and all that shit. All those dating contest 2000s VH1 reality shows. We all remember this shit. So this was a Rock of Love contestant, Megan Hauserman. And basically, it's a thing where she's trying to find a rich guy to marry. It's a contest where all these rich guys compete for her. 17 wealthy single men compete for her love. Exciting. During the casting process, they were found basically single men with a net worth of over $1 million is the deal here. And Corey is in this mix. He's one of the suitors, Corey Thomas. He apparently, his nickname, because they give him all stupid nicknames, he was the hot shot. He was 31 years old at the time, so he's 33-ish now, and he was worth $5 million.
What'd he do?
Apparently. Not sure, but $5 million. Some of these nicknames are fun.
He's doing it.
One guy they called the Latin Lover. $2 million. The rich guy, it's funny too, one of the richest guys won.
Who was it?
A guy named TJ Diab.
Yeah.
I don't know. He had $6.5 million.
He was one of the richest?
One of the richest. There was another one who was a $10 million, but he apparently was just a trust fund kid.
Got
so
it.
Nobody wants that asshole anyway.
He's not going to keep that money.
Screw him.
That's all going away one day.
Yeah. And then one guy, his name was Dave Sextoy Dave Levine, who sold sex toys on the internet. And he had $9.5 million.
It's going to be a lot more than that one day.
Yeah. So Corey doesn't win, though, basically. No. He was on this show. Now, August 7th, 2014. Buckle up, everybody. This is going to be crazy for a while. Gave you all sorts of fun porn names and stupid prison stuff. Now it's time to get dirty with this shit.
August 7th?
August 7th, 2014. Christy Mack and Corey Thomas went to lunch together. By the way, she describes the relationship as a formerly sexual relationship that is not sexual now, that they're friends now. That's how she describes it. They went lunch and went to shopping to buy supplies for Christy's upcoming appearance at a Las Vegas tattoo convention. So she gets paid a lot to go to those places. So, they had been hanging out here for about 2 months, but she says they weren't fucking at the time. Then other people will say they were fucking at the time. So we don't know what's going on. And it really doesn't matter.
No.
They were hanging out either way for about the last couple months. Now, Corey Thomas, he said he knew that what she described as her ex-boyfriend, but they were still together. She knew that he was an MMA fighter. Or that, he knew that. Corey knew that. So right away, this is all... He thinks
all shady and shitty.
Yeah, everybody's being a little bit shady
volatile
here. It's very volatile.
Yeah.
Now, she was seeing both guys. She said later on, she admitted that she's seeing, but who doesn't fucking matter? Right. You're allowed to see 100 guys, and that's not against the law or cause for any violence. Now, while this is all going on, they finish shopping. I guess Corey Thomas picks up some salads for them and heads over to her home. I guess they watched some dinner. They ate some dinner. They didn't watch the dinner. This is great dinner.
Boy, that looks good.
Wow.
I have never seen it do. It's not going to.
I like how steak gets all.
It's real
stuff on the outside. It's gray and stuff. On the inside,
red.
It's pretty red.
Wow. Do you see that the juice is getting bigger on the underneath?
I don't know. Hold on.
Seems like it's coming out.
I'm trying to watch this. Jesus fucking Christ! I hate watching things with you. You never shut up. I'm trying to watch this fucking.
Trying to watch the green.
Trying to watch my Brussels sprouts. So they ate dinner, they watched some Netflix and fell asleep on the couch. They woke up, apparently, this is the story, they woke up and moved to the bed around 12:30 a.m., and they were both clothed and shit like that. They both fell asleep on the couch. Her 2 dogs were in bed with them as well. 2 pit bulls were in bed there. About a little before 2 a.m., there's a key in the door of the front lock of the door, and it's War Machine coming home a little early.
Okay.
Not good. He says that he was coming home to surprise her with an engagement ring. Okay. How do you, let's go over this guy so far.
Yeah.
How do you think he's going to react to coming home? I tell you, you picture him like an old timey, like a 50s guy. He's got a suit and tie and like a gray hat on. He puts it on the hat rack. He's got like a dozen roses.
The tie.
Goes in his shirt pocket, pulls out the ring, looks at it one more time. He's like, I sure hope she says yes.
Here we go.
Puts it back, and he's like, oh boy. And he heads in there, Jolly G. Gerwillikers, and he's just boop, boop, boop.
Opens the door, and what the fuck?
He walks into the bedroom, turned the lights on, and finds this dude in the bed. Apparently, he started screaming and jumped on Corey Thomas. And the way Corey Thomas put it, he, quote, started wailing on my face. And basically, Then he put him in War Machine. I have to tell you who the aggressor here is. Right. War Machine puts Thomas in 2 different chokeholds as they, wrestle around in the ground. He then drags this guy, Thomas, to the bathroom in a chokehold and basically beat him for about 10 minutes.
Oh, boy.
A sustained 10-minute beating. Imagine that. Think about that. In
close quarters.
That's longer than just about any fight he's ever had in MMA. Think about it. In a bathroom. Right. Putting him in chokeholds, punching him, kicking him, biting him, just attacking him in every way possible. So Thomas, he says, quote, once it registered I was getting bitten, then I put my hands back up to try to break him off my face, and then he bit me on the arm. Mm-hmm. So he's like a fucking wild animal.
And now there's no Herb Dean can't save you now. All holds are
nothing's going to come in.
Nothing can stop me. I can do whatever I want.
He said, quote, I'm looking up at the ceiling thinking to myself, I'm going to die in Christie's bathroom. That's not how I'm going out. Mm-hmm. So apparently he kind of broke free for a second while there was, I don't know if War Machine was taking a breath or what.
Right.
He's able to break free, but only to be held in a third chokehold and held down. And it's at that point that War Machine started asking him questions while he was choking him. Mm-hmm. Didn't ask him anything. He beat him for 10 minutes before asking a question.
Now let's talk.
Maybe start with this. And if you don't like the answers, then choke him in a bathroom. You don't even know who he is. He could be her gay friend from college. It's like, what is it? Oh, stop. Oh, my God. What the fuck are you doing? You don't know who this guy is. Honestly.
This is wild stuff, man. And I'm trying to justify.
This is my brother's boyfriend. Stop.
I'm trying to justify the man like, if I'm dating a woman and she says my ex-boyfriend's an MMA star, I think, how far removed are you?
Yeah, how far removed?
How pissed would he be?
What state does he live in?
Right.
How many years is he in prison for?
Right. Am I ever going to cross his path?
Ever.
Because he's going to want to kill me. He's a lunatic.
Especially if you guys are still together in his mind and her mind.
What a fight is? Do you not understand?
Have you ever seen one?
Do you know what that is?
It ends in choking most of the time.
People get hurt.
Yeah. So the questions he's asking him are pretty simple ones. Yeah. Like I said, that he could have asked him from a standing position that would have probably been a lot easier. Quote, who are you?
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
We don't even know.
He doesn't even know who he is. Second question. Want to take a guess?
Did you fuck her?
No. Who are you?
Yeah. What's your name?
What are you doing here? Very simple.
The basics?
The basics, Jimmy. Who are you? What are you doing here? Seems like he could have got a much easier answer from a standing position.
Well, apparently fighting you now.
Yeah,
because
but how's he supposed to answer while you're choking him is the other thing. Then he said, this is my girl, is what he told him. That's what War Machine was telling him.
Obviously.
Well, who are you? What are you doing here? This is my girl. Then, apparently, while he's choking Thomas, War Machine starts yelling to Christy in the other room. And he's saying, this is Thomas's quote, he was saying, tell him you love me, tell him you asked me to marry you, and she did. So War Machine is telling her to make sure to tell this guy that she loves me, not you, that I'm choking.
I love him, he asked me to marry him.
Yeah, to Corey.
Right.
So Corey knows that.
Corey.
Just so you know. And he's like, okay.
Right. I can't breathe.
I'll be a flower guy at this point. I don't care. You need a groomsman?
Can I be ring bearer?
Yeah. Thomas says, quote, she said, yes, you're right. I asked you to marry me. You're right. I told you I love you today. And because also the weird thing is earlier in the day, she had sent him Christy had sent War Machine topless pictures and like flirty texts and shit like that. So they weren't in a fight and they weren't broken up.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, here's my tits. I love you. And he was like, cool. Yeah, I love you too.
I love you too.
Yeah. And then they're hanging out.
Great tits.
Terrific.
Yeah.
So, apparently. So,
not for nothing, but I've seen them.
But yeah, you have. So Thomas describes Christy's demeanor. He says, quote, my face is covered in dripping blood all over the side of the bed, so I could look up and see a little bit of her. I've never heard her voice that way before. She was scared, very scared to death. Well, no shit.
My God.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
He beat him bloody?
Oh, he beat him for 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
And he knows how to beat people.
Yeah.
So if he beats you for 10 minutes, it's going to be pretty fucking good beating for 10 minutes. So then Thomas said that, I had nothing to lose, so I started asking him questions. He said, quote, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Again, these are all real basic questions that are much more easily answered if no one's in a chokehold, right?
Or with your blood on the inside of your body.
Yeah, all on the inside, all in your arteries and veins where it belongs. So he says, what do you want from me? Do you want to kill me or do you want to walk me out of this room?
Right.
It's basically like, you want to toss me out or kill me? What are you going to do here? So Old School would have been a very different movie if Owen Wilson reacted like this, by the way. Very different. Or Luke Wilson, sorry. If Luke Wilson reacted like this, imagine how different of a movie that would be. It would just be like Vince Vaughn and Will Ferrell visiting him in prison.
He just like beat a man and a woman who had ties.
He walked in and he was just like, pulled the guy, started choking him out in the bathroom, beating him fucking bloody for 10 minutes. Tell him you love me. Tell this motherfucker you asked me to marry you, motherfucker. Tell her. Like, what is happening?
And then the wife, and then goes downstairs and drags, what's the dude's name that wrote it? What's the director's name? Todd Phillips. Drags Todd Phillips off the doorstep and beats the living piss out of him,
his ass, and
the gangbang, you're here for that?
Ah, Christ. So there's a 911 call somewhere in here where she calls 911. She's heard screaming and begging him to stop beating Thomas. That's what's heard on the thing. With her
the 911 call?
Yeah. It was like an open. Yeah. She just like called 911 and went about her business, but left the phone open so they could hear what's going on. She called, and apparently there was a lost connection. I don't know if she hung up or what. The operator called back, but she ignored the call. So she then testified after that. She'll say later on that she deleted her original 911 call from the phone history so he wouldn't see it in case he came and took her phone.
Smart.
Turns out to be very smart because she says, quote, because I knew John was coming after me next. War Machine tells Thomas to not contact the police about this when he leaves, or he will, quote, send Hell's Angels and Navy SEALs friends out to find and kill you if you say anything. So he's going to say, I'm going to send my Hell's Angels and Navy SEAL friends. I don't know if they're the same people.
How do you have the...
Two very different groups.
What a great guy.
Those are great people to have, and you have your back, I suppose. I don't know how he gets both groups.
How do you know those? Like, if some guy that runs a lifestyle where he knows Hell's Angels, you rarely know Navy SEAls also. Yeah. They don't run in the same circles.
If you're a Navy SEAL Hell's Angel, though,
that's a bad man.
That's a bad motherfucker right
and also,
there.
maybe the mediator between the two groups.
That's true. That's true. So, shit. So, it's a good point. So, I guess at that point, War Machine let go of Thomas. Thomas grabbed his shit and fucking got out of there before he changes his mind and decides to start beating you again. I'd leave whatever I had there and go if I'm this guy.
So scary.
He said that he took off, and then Thomas says, quote, it never crossed my mind that he would hit her or beat her or do things to her. Well, let's see here. Thomas ends up with a broken nose, dislocated shoulder, scrapes, bruises, bite marks, all that sort of shit. He just got the living shit beaten out of him. So Thomas leaves the residence, and that's that. Now, War Machine turns his attention to Christy. This is fucking brutal. He kicks and punches and beats her pretty horribly here. He told her to takes her clothes off and tells her to get into the shower. Okay? At that point, we're going to get to. She says, quote, I don't remember the first hits. I just remember being in the shower and he was screaming at me and I could taste my own blood.
Oh, no.
That's the most terrifying statement I've ever heard in my fucking life.
And he's punching her in the shower?
When he feels like it.
Oh, boy.
This is one of the worst things. Other than Buck Zumhoff or, the hardcore rapists or things like that, this is as bad as it gets. He is OJ level, this motherfucker. And I'm not even kidding.
This might be worse, man. Because,
no, this is worse.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear this.
Apart from like a serial rapist, because they don't know that person, this is like somebody you're supposed to trust.
Buck Zumhoff repeatedly raped his daughter.
She knows him. Yeah.
He's the worst. He's still the worst. You can't get worse than that. Right. You can cut 5 people's heads off. Anthony Smith killed people. Even the fucking I-5 killer didn't rape his own daughter repeatedly. That's just worse. I'm sorry. You just can't. You can't beat that. Bad. It's unbeatable, really. Right. It's a trump card every time.
They were just talking about a wrestler recently in the news and mentioned that, it was Triple H because he had the longest, or he celebrated 25 years with the WWE. And they said that his first wrestling match was against Buck Zumhoff. And then they just went to the next story. It's like, whoa, yep. What happened to that guy? Slow down. Hit the brakes.
We went over that, too, in the Buck Zumhoff episode. I remember saying that. It was Triple H's first match in WWE.
hilarious.
Beat the crap out of him. I think he also lost to Undertaker pretty early on,
I think so, too.
So anyway, she says that she ended up on the bathroom floor naked and with him going through her cell phone now while she's bleeding.
Thank God she deleted
naked
that.
and cold. Oh, well, he's now, while she's on the floor naked and recovering from being beaten, he's looking through her phone to see who she's following on Instagram and Twitter
What?
and unfollowing them.
Oh, my God.
Okay. She says, quote, he would hit me if he found something he didn't like. So he's just standing there with her being like, who's this? And then hitting her.
Wow.
Well, what's this? And then hitting her over it. He said, quote, they can't help you. At that point, she said he threw a dog's blanket over her at that point, for some reason. Then he got one of, her letter opener, which is a dull steak knife.
Right.
She uses it to open packages. He went and got that. Okay. She said, quote, he cut up all my wigs with it. He sawed off my hair. He cut off her hair with a dull steak knife.
Off
Jimmy.
her own head.
Off her fucking head.
Wow.
Jimmy. That's, I don't even know. I don't even know the psychology behind that. Anybody out there in the mental health game, it's obvious this is control and all that, but wow, there's more to this that I don't even.
That's deep.
He had the knife in my ear and he was screaming at me. He just kept pushing it deeper and deeper and deeper. This is fucking terrifying. Wow. Eventually the knife broke. That's how he broke the blade. Pushing it on her. That's how hard he was pushing on her. But he continued, she said, to use it on her to cut her hand and cut her head with it, to a broken, dull steak knife. At one point, she tried to get up and leave, but he kicked her. So then he kicked her. He was kicking her in the ribs and all this shit, by the way, when she was on all fours on the ground. He was kicking her in the ribs. She'll break 18 ribs in this scenario.
Oh, my God.
Then, this is even worse. Okay, buckle up, everybody. Skip 30 seconds ahead if you don't like bad stuff. Quote, he licked his hand and wiped it on my vagina. He said, this is my pussy. I'm going to take it back now. He looked at me and he was so upset because he said he couldn't get hard. He was so mad about it, but he didn't have sex with me.
Oh, boy.
So he was trying to rape her, but couldn't. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. This is the most, I don't even know. At one point, she recalled him standing over her and saying, this is it. I've got to kill you now. So, wow. Apparently at that point, he went to the kitchen to get another knife. So he got up, took her phone with him, went to the kitchen. She heard the drawers rattling. She says, quote, I thought he was getting another knife. I thought he was going to come and kill me because the other knife had broken. So at that point, naked and bloody, she jumped off her balcony.
Wow.
Jumped 2 fences and knocked on a neighbor's door.
Unbelievable.
And, which is amazingly, that's amazing.
That's hero stuff.
I mean, wow. Talk about, instinct of self-preservation and,
that's real.
To have bravery to not just lay there and take it and wait for death. One of her, the neighbor called police and she hid behind the neighbor's couch because she was so scared he was going to follow her there.
Unbelievable.
She's taken to the hospital, after being, just horribly, horribly beaten. Let's see here. She has broken teeth, fractured ribs, a ruptured liver. If that's it. Oh, a blowout fracture of her orbital socket of her, left eye there, 2 missing teeth. And broke fractures throughout her face. Yeah. Basically, her whole body is broken. Yeah. He fucking broke her into a million pieces.
Beat her.
Internally, externally, just beat her.
Fists and feet.
Fists, feet, choking her, fucking,
just with
and a knife.
Right, but the knife, he didn't stab her. You know what I mean? He just literally pummeled her body.
Yeah.
Until it's mush.
It's fucking disgusting.
Unbelievable.
It is. Wow. It's absolutely disturbing here. The police report said he walked into the room wearing, let's see here, dark gray cargo shorts and a white shirt reading Alpha Male Shirt Clothing Company. So
unbelievable.
He's wearing his Alpha Male shirt while he's doing this, which is great advertisement there for your fucking shit brand, you asshole. This is wild. So, Wow. This is going to be a shitload of charges, obviously, as we'll talk about there. Now, he disappears after this. He takes off, disappears. He ran away. Yeah. He heard the cops were coming and took off. Once he saw she was gone, he was fucking gone. Several hours later, the dryer guy, who we've talked about, he said he got a text message from War Machine. Yeah. And War Machine was on the run. Buddy. Yeah, it's Jim Buddy. He says, Dryer says, quote, I see the message, and I'm like, what's the matter? He said, I'm in big trouble. So then I asked, what did you do? You screwed up like you hit a girl? You hit somebody? I actually said that. Never got an answer.
He never wrote back.
No, he's like, oh, shit, this guy knows me too well. Yeah. He said that, he ran into this dryer guy, talked to a friend of his later, and he says, quote, my friend tells me that War Machine called the gym and started describing that there was blood all over the place. It was a nightmare. I got hurt. They hurt me. I hurt them. And that's the way he was describing it to someone in a gym. Like, he got in this big fight. Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't go around calculatedly kicking the shit out of people. That day, Bellator fires him, citing a zero tolerance policy for domestic violence. And wow.
And at this point, this is all over Twitter. I remember this.
Oh, yeah.
Day,
well, we're going to see
all over Twitter. People tweeting, if you see this son of a bitch.
And he's tweeting, too.
Really?
He's tweeting. Later on, 2 days later, War Machine calls the dryer guy from a different phone number. Mm-hmm. And he said that War Machine seemed angry. He said, quote, I call him up on the phone and we have the conversation like the Last Supper. I was asking him different questions. He was telling me different things. What do you want to do? He said he asked War Machine, and War Machine said, quote, my lawyer said wait until she makes a statement about the case. I said, what are you talking about? You're not going to win this, man. I don't give a shit what happens. You ain't going to win this. Like, you're done. So August 9th, he starts tweeting while he's wanted. Let's see here. Quote, he tweets at Christy Mack. He actually has the balls to at her in a tweet. Quote, I love you and hope you're okay. I came home early to surprise you and help you set up for your convention. I can't believe what I found and I can't believe what happened. All I wanted was to surprise you and help you do something nice. Now this. And this is over several tweets here. He says, Christy Mack, I'm so heartbroken in all ways. I will always love you. Then he says, again at Christy Mack, I just wanted to see your face when I surprised you with the ring. This is a nightmare. You're in my thoughts.
Oh,
you're in my thoughts.
What?
Then he says the next one, I'm not a bad guy. I went to surprise my girlfriend, help her set up the show and give her an engagement ring, and ended up fighting for my life.
Okay.
Against a non-fighter and a porn star.
Right.
Then he says, the cops will never give me fair play, never believe me, still deciding what to do, but at the end of the day, it's just all heartbeaking. You don't really have a choice of what to do.
And rib
you can
breaking.
Blow your fucking brains out, or you can go to jail. Those are your options. I only wish that man hadn't been there and that Christy and I would be happily engaged. I don't know why I'm so cursed. One day the truth will come out. I don't know why I'm so cursed. Mm-hmm. So Christy releases a statement in response to all this that says, I'll be releasing my statement in the morning to put many rumors to rest. And she does. Let's let Christy talk here. Christy's statement. This is her description. Yeah. Quote, at about 2 a.m. Friday morning, John Koppenhaver arrived unannounced to my home in Las Vegas, Nevada, after he broke up with me in May. He moved out of my house and back to San Diego. When he arrived, he found myself and one other fully clothed and unarmed in the house. Without a single word spoken, he began beating my friend. Once he was finished, he sent my friend away and turned his attention to me. He made me undress and shower in front of him, then dragged me out and beat my face. I have no recollection of how many times I was hit. I just know my injuries that resulted from being beaten. My injuries include 18 broken bones around my eyes. My nose is broken in 2 places. I'm missing teeth and several more are broken. I'm unable to chew or see out of my left eye. My speech is slurred from the swelling and lack of teeth. I have a fractured rib and severely ruptured liver from a kick to my leg, or to my side. My leg is so badly injured that I have not been able to walk on my own. I also attained several lesions from a knife that he got in my kitchen. He pushed the knife into me in some areas around my hand, ear, and head. He also sawed much of my hair off of the handle and continued to threaten me with the blade. I believed I was going to die. He has beaten me many times before, but never this badly. He took my phone and canceled all my plans for the following week. Like,
cancel all my plans for a week.
To make sure that no one would worry about my whereabouts.
Yep.
That's what a killer does.
He was going to murder
That's
her.
what a murderer does.
Yeah.
That's exactly what a murderer does. He told me he was going to rape me, but was disappointed in himself when he could not get hard. After another hit or two, he left me on the floor bleeding and shaking, holding my side from the pain in my rib. He left the room and went to the kitchen where I could hear him rattling through drawers. Assuming he was finding a sharper, more stable knife to end my life, I ran out the back door, shutting it behind me so the dogs didn't run inside to top him off. I hopped the fence to the golf course behind my house and ran through the neighborhood knocking on doors. Finally, one answered. I was brought to the hospital and treated for my injuries. And then she thanks everybody for, for being supportive. She said, after many months of fear and pressure to keep this man happy, although I fear for my life, I feel that I can no longer put myself in the situation. The cheating by him nearly every day and almost weekly abuse is now more than I can stand. There's a $10,000 reward for his capture. So,
all of that is super unbelievable, but I did not know that porn was so lucrative you could live on a golf course.
Right
That's
behind
amazing.
a golf course. Not bad.
Good for her.
She also releases photos of the injuries on social media. That's when the world went batshit.
I saw
her face looked horrible.
Her eyes were all, there was blood in them.
It looked like she went through a windshield.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
There was no white.
Yeah. It looked like she got in a head-on collision going 60 and went through a fucking windshield into a tree.
She got fucked up.
August 11th, 2014, he's still on the run.
Yeah.
He's a wanted man. Dog the Bounty Hunter is at the undisputed gym in San Diego looking for him. Jesus Christ.
You Dog the Bounty Hunter looking for you. That's kind of cool.
And Dog was also tweeting at him to fuck with him too. So that's fucking funny.
Jesus.
So a few days later here, he is at the Extended Stay America Hotel in Simi Valley on Stern Street in Simi Valley, California.
Sounds gross.
Hotel guest named Mary here said she called police to the hotel after seeing a, quote, big dude yelling at and pushing a petite woman who was trying to calm him down. He grabbed her by the hair and dragged her, so she called the cops. Guess who that might be?
Who?
Well, that's him.
Who is she?
Well, she's some woman named Nicole Blankenship, some chick he was hanging out with. She says about this, the cops then go to the room, and this is her description of what went down. Quote, they were like banging on the door trying to get it open, and they're like, open the door, open the door. Finally, when they got it open, they yelled gun, and then all of a sudden you see them shoot him with a taser. And he got shot with a taser, and he went down to the floor, and they handcuffed him.
Wow.
So that was it. They take him into custody. This is, by the way, from the police report. He is found with, quote, a small quantity of cash and some pizza. That's what he had in his possession, a small quantity of cash and some pizza.
No gun.
No gun. No, he had no gun. This guy doesn't fucking need a gun. He's a psychopath.
He is a gun.
He is
They
a
saw
gun.
him and they were like, he's a gun.
He's a gun. Shoot
it.
Neck tattoos. This is yet another example of how our joint, blah, 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 blah. The Nevada people were very excited about tracking him down there. They go to his home also go to his home in San Diego to remove 2 of his exotic snakes. And when they got there, Dog the Bounty Hunter was there hanging out waiting for him at his house. And they were like, yeah, we just caught him, idiot.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, damn it.
Well, I've been here so long I needed food. I ate the snakes.
That's it. Which is, what do you expect? So, I mean, they don't even know what to do with this guy. What do you do? Put him in a Hannibal Lecter mask and fucking put him on the hand cart and put him in there? What do you say to him or nothing? Do you leave
transport him like a refrigerator for the rest of his life?
Yes, I think he goes in like silent, dark rooms, and that's it. Like he's Hannibal. I don't know what it is, man. They stuck him in jail though. They did, and he was in there. But there's no. They said there's nobody to talk. No one's gonna fucking get through to this asshole. That's the problem. And they tried to. They really did. Especially one day he's in his cell and he's waiting, and here's a walking coming, but it's very slow. And he's like, what is this? Is this a ghost? What's happening? Oh no. And he gets
coming to get me.
He gets a little scared and the cell door opens and it's my grandma. Holy shit. She's very angry. And she says, Ma, how is it you come to arrive? Ma, what are you doing? Ma, you son of a bitch. You get over here. I hit you myself, you son of a bitch. No, I'm not afraid of you. I cut you balls. I cut you balls.
I didn't take her knife.
I cut you balls. I no take my knife. No, for the apple. I keep in purse. Why? I keep for the apple.
For the apple.
Or for ball. Either one. But I cut his balls. No? Good, right? Okay. I cut his balls. Thank you. You close door. I cut balls. I'll be back later. Okay. That's it.
They say I can.
That's okay. Poof. And a poof of, homemade pasta and immigration papers. She is gone. And War Machine is scared of a woman for the first time in his life.
Good.
Because you would have to. Now, he is charged with 36 counts of shit.
Wow.
Here. Let's get into the charges. Would you like them?
I mean, assault and battery, domestic violence.
Sorry, 34. Well, let's go over the list. Battery, coercion, preventing or dissuading witness from or victim from reporting a crime, another count of battery, another count of coercion, preventing or dissuading witness, first-degree kidnapping, battery, sustaining bodily harm, sexual assault twice, one for digital penetration, one for attempted sexual penetration, attempted sexual assault for attempted anal penetration, sexual assault for sexual penetration, burglary with the use of a weapon because he had a knife on him, first-degree kidnapping with the use of a deadly weapon, resulting in substantial bodily harm, coercion, sexually motivated, telling Christy Mack to shower, battery resulting in a substantial bodily harm, which was punching her in the eyes, battery resulting in substantial bodily harm constituting domestic violence, punching her in the nose, battery resulting in substantial bodily harm, punching her in the mouth and teeth, another charge, battery, sexual assault with the use of a weapon, of a deadly weapon, resulting in substantial bodily harm, attempted murder with the use of a deadly weapon, beating her for 2 hours.
Wow.
That went on for 2 hours, Jimmy. That wasn't 15 fucking minutes. That was a torture session. He was taking breaks and shit. 2 hours, then grabbing a knife to kill her, using her phone to tell her friends that she wouldn't be able to reach her. That sounds like attempted murder to me. Right. Battery. Those are all on Thomas, and then dissuading the witness on Thomas as well. So, 34 counts of some shit you don't want to be in.
They should be able to charge him with murder. You know what
right?
I mean?
It's good. Eventually, he'll get there.
He was going to do it.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
He pleads not guilty to all 34 counts, which he's facing life in prison here. October 14, 2014, he is found unresponsive in his cell.
What?
He tried to hang himself.
Really?
He's found at 9:30. An officer conducting a walkthrough found him. He noticed what appeared to be a torn piece of linen around his neck, and it was tied to the leg of his bunk. They removed him and cut the ligature off, and they said he came around after a while, basically.
He came back?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He has a statement about this. By the way, he has a statement. He's mad at Christy. How dare she? Quote, "They want to charge me with battery and domestic violence? Fine, do it. But don't railroad me with BS fantasy charges like rape, attempted murder, kidnapping, and burglary. It's making it impossible for justice. I know I'm a good person with a huge heart, and everyone who knows me knows that, especially Christy." Wow. Then he said that she's been pressured by her scumbag agent. That's this to make her more famous, to get money. He also said that this is his suicide note, essentially. Yeah. He then says that, concludes it by asking the recipients to, quote, "remember me for my times of strength," and that noting that, quote, "society has killed men. I was never meant to live in this era anyway. Follow your dreams and think for yourselves." Yeah, he's a fucking douchebag.
He lost to a rear naked choke from his sheets, though, right?
Apparently so, but he's fine. So then he tweets in 2015. I guess he got it out to someone who tweeted it. He said, quote, "Where to begin? It's sad to say that I am 1,000 times more embarrassed of what I'm about to tell you than I am of being accused of the crimes that landed me in jail. It's a testament to how screwed up my way of thinking is, as well as how screwed up our society has become. At first, I blame this whole situation on Christy and that guy. Then I blame my bad luck. Then I blame my bad karma. Then I blame myself. Then I blame steroids. Then I blame the programming job done to me by a subconscious mind, a product of the traumatic childhood and a poor choice of role models. One of them has to be the culprit. There must be some reason that, though I've always had the best of intentions, I keep landing myself in huge messes." You are a fucking asshole. That's what it is.
A lot of those. I mean, it's not all of them, obviously, but it's a lot of those that culminate in influencing you. But in the end, it comes down to your fucking decision.
That's it. Little column A, little column B. Yeah. Fuck off.
And then you beat the shit out of your girl.
Oh, and then in a hearing, while this is all going on, Christy is on the stand in this hearing. It's a pretrial deal, telling her story of the assault, and he's laughing at her in court. So the judge reprimands him for that and puts that in the back of his mind for when he does sentencing. Put it that way. I'll keep that nugget in my wallet. Thanks, asshole. Now that I know you're a complete piece of shit, you don't even have any remorse. November 2015 in court, the prosecutor was describing his sexual assault charges. During that, War Machine blew the prosecutor a kiss.
What?
Yeah, while she was describing his sexual assault charges, he blew her a kiss. Yeah. Imagine that. The judge goes, okay, let me write that one down. That's all going in the file, asshole.
Times two?
Yep. February 2017 is the trial, and Thomas testifies that, all this shit, basically, of everything we just said. Thomas testifies. Christie testifies. Tells everything. They see the photos. He's fucked. There's no way he's getting out of this one. But there was another guy there.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Great. So verdict is March 20th, 2017, and verdict comes back guilty of 29 of 36 counts.
Wow.
It's not too shabby. They dismissed the attempted murder. They got rid of a couple of the others, but 29 of 36 counts.
That's deep.
That's a lot of sentencing leeway in those, put it that way. Now, the sentencing, Christie's mom speaks out. Her name is Erin McKindy, which is Christy Mack's real name. She said that basically the lawyers, she was mad that his lawyers tried to manipulate the court by talking about his abusive upbringing and shit like that. To give the life story of how you make a monster, which is great, but then you still have free will and decision making. Now, she says, this is the mother, quote, "I grew up abused. There's nothing more precious to me than my children. I broke the cycle. For him to blame his parents, you own that and it hurt my baby, and he hurt my baby, and he needs to spend the rest of his life in jail."
Poor lady.
Poor fucking lady. Now, Thomas, I guess, I don't think he flew from Australia. He flew 20 hours to testify. Said he flew 20 hours to testify. And he said that, quote, I wanted you to look in the eye and let you know that there are victims in this crime, is what he told the judge why he came. He said, "I'm not asking you to do anything that you don't already know what to do." He's talking to the judge. "What I'm concerned with is how much time the defendant has wasted getting to this point, and still to point out how it's everyone else's fault. It isn't. He tried to kill me. Let's get realistic. He has the background and he's done it before. He's wasted everyone's time. I don't think the minimum should apply here." Fair enough. Christie gets up there and gets to say something, which is good. She says, quote, "I've been punched and kicked, smothered and bitten, raped and tortured. I was met with this more times than I can count, and I still cry every time I think about how it feels." She said that, she said, quote, "I love John, and I know in some way John loved me too. I don't know if my life will feel complete in 20 or 12 or 30 years, and neither do you, but I do know that when he gets out, he will kill me." So she's like, he's going to come after me. So, you know, basically, how long do you want me to live is how long you're going to fucking put him away for.
And she's absolutely right.
She's 100% right. So then War Machine has a statement. The judge is also going to have a say in this, which is fun. War Machine says, quote, "I should have killed myself by now." This is what he's saying in court. "There's no reason right now that I shouldn't be in the dirt right now laying next to Aaron Hernandez. That's 100% true." Okay. I have no problem with that. Fucking kill yourself. Go ahead, dude. Yeah. I would love that. Would have no problem. He said that, quote, "Not a day goes by that I don't seriously regret some of the things that I did. I was a lost and empty person. I hated the way that I think. I hated my impulses. It caused me to hate myself. I hated myself way more than any of these people do. I would look at myself in the mirror and smash my face. That's how much I hated myself. It was the only thing I could do to prevent myself from killing myself. I gave my life to God." There you go. A broken rule there. Found religion. "For the first time in my entire life, it's brought me peace inside. It's helped me to remove my self-hate. It's given me the ability to manage my depression and anxiety. I hated that this happened. I hate that I had to hurt the woman I loved. I hate that I had to ruin my career. But it's a blessing in my life. It's made me grow into a real man. No matter what happens in this case or in the future, I'm just glad that I've finally woken up and seen the truth. And I really believe I'm going to be able to be a good role model for the rest of my life. A good role model."
Yeah.
Whoa. Then he said, quote, "And to top it all off, something's not right with my head. Plain and simple. I've known that a long time, and I've hated it. I've hated the way I think. I've hated my impulses. Half the time, I don't know why I do some of the things I do, and some of the things I do, I don't even feel like I did them until it's already done. Yes, that's called fucking brain damage, you moron. You've been hitting the head a ton, and you take steroids. If you mix those things together, you get insanity, and you get half of our episodes.
And bad choices.
You get the Crime and Sports podcast since 2017.
Truly. It's fucking fascinating that he can say those things in public, out loud. What he basically just told that judge is, I will kill her, and then I will kill myself as soon as I get out of this.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't really feel much about it.
I'm going to say all these things that are nice to make you be lenient. Then when I get out, she's dead, and I'll kill myself.
Maybe you too.
All right.
Who knows?
Maybe you.
Who knows?
Depending on how long you make me wait to kill her.
We'll see. So the judge says, this is a good you, sir moment here. Quote, I don't think you're a monster. I think you're a human being. There have to be consequences for what happened, and I have to look out for the well-being of the community as I consider the appropriate sentence. I do think a substantial amount of time is warranted, not only for punishment's sake, but for avoiding danger to the community. You, sir, may fuck off. Life in prison with a chance of parole after 36 years are served. This is first chance at parole.
36
from 2017.
Yeah.
So that's 2053. Enjoy, asshole. Fine. Fuck off.
He will be in his 70s.
Yeah. Fuck him. Eat dicks. I don't fucking feel bad for him. I feel bad for her. I really do. She's the worst. I mean, I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy, but not nearly as bad as I feel for John Koppenhaver, clinical care manager at Aetna in Wichita, Kansas.
You mean to tell me there's not a single war machine?
It's weird. I looked for one. I couldn't find any. Strange. I was like, maybe one of the Dutch countries up there, one of the Nordic countries. Yeah, water machine. John Koppenhaver, transportation trucking railroad professional, lives in Hawaii.
Oh.
So
at least it's somewhere
transportation,
nice.
Trucking, and railroad on a bunch of little islands.
Right.
I feel like you could expand a lot if you came here.
I think you found that one Hawaiian, James.
Yeah, that's it.
Remember that guy?
Yeah. We're looking for him.
There he is.
There he is. Now, in prison here, he's in prison. He's got some conflicting feelings. He says, quote, what I did was bad enough. It'll send me to prison for long enough. Why must they punish me for stuff I didn't do on top of all? That's justice? I'm only going to be found guilty of the stuff I really did. The stuff that I would confess and sign a deal right now. I was raping my porn star girlfriend, raping in quotes, raping my porn star girlfriend during our relationship, and she never reported it. Still wanted to marry me and only made accusations after I beat her and her lover. But did you just hear what you just said? If that doesn't have REVENGE written all over it, and he's got them spaced out with hyphens, then I don't know what does. Juries are that stupid, guys. Yeah. He says that, but then he claimed when he's in prison that he had nothing but joy inside. Nothing but joy, he said. Joy over guilt over the charges because he found religion now. Yeah. He said, now everything's fine. I'm good now.
Of course.
I found Jesus. So he ran away home. So he went home, broken rule, and then he found religion. Again, broken rule. He's doing badly here. He says, one day when enough time has passed and when your wounds are finally healed, this is, by the way, he wrote on Twitter, one day when time has passed and when your wounds are fully healed, I hope that you will write me or perhaps even visit me so that I can apologize completely and so that I can tell you about all that I have found in regard to God.
Christy, I beg you do not.
Fuck no.
Don't do it.
Yeah, he says, quote, right now, if this is the Brad Dreyer guy again. He says, right now, if we went to prison, you would see the real John Koppenhaver. He says, the John that talks about Jesus Christ and the John that's compassionate and concerned about people. It's not because he was reformed in prison. It's because he was on all that shit. He was on antidepressants and he was on steroids. That's a lot of the conversation. I'm sure he changed into a slightly different person now, is what Christy said when they asked him. She goes, yeah, I'm sure he's a different guy now. He's been in fucking prison. He's got to be different. Now, 2017, in April, Christy says she's going to devote her time, instead of doing porn, she's going to devote her time to advocating for survivors of domestic abuse and return to stripping.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
I know.
That's part of the sentence. And return to adult dancing. She also says she plans to get a new tattoo to cover up the tattoo on her back that says property of War Machine.
Oh, my God. She did that?
Stop getting tattoos of people.
Right.
You know when you can get a tattoo when you're both 80 and you've been together for 60 years? Go, let's get a tattoo because I'm pretty sure this is going to work out. Otherwise, stop doing it.
It's going to hang on forever.
For fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
I have seen pictures of her, too, and I feel so bad for her because she had to have so much reconstruction.
It's fucking terrible,
She doesn't
man.
even look like the same person anymore.
No, she couldn't. She got a beating. Her eye socket was destroyed.
Her face was so fucked up.
It's fucking terrible,
Unbelievable.
Man. I feel
so terrible for her.
No shit. So July 20th, 2018, it comes out that War Machine's engaged in prison to a woman named Ashley Farrington. They became acquainted when she started writing to him in the Pen Pal program. Speaking of that, sign up for fucking Patreon. Last week on Under the Small Town Murder won the dating game All Violent Felon Edition, where Jimmie picks people but has no idea what they've done. They're all horrible people. Basically, is he going to pick the pedophile? Let's find out. It's awesome. So much fun. And avoid it because this happens.
Unreal.
She's a 30-year-old woman who started writing him in the last summer, and it escalated to visits, and there's no conjugal visits allowed, but he popped the question anyway. And he wrote her a poem. Here's his love poem. Want to hear War Machine's love poem?
I do.
To the love of my life. I feel pain inside. The love we share brings me to tears. I'm desperate to fully express it, but there aren't adequate words, nor will I live enough years. For this is an eternal love, one I feel I have always known, even if only in my dreams or perhaps in the marrow of my bones. Were you once in me? What did God do? Did he cut me open and make out of me a you? What is this? Fucking where the sidewalk ends now? I feel like this is like fucking Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout or whatever.
This is awful.
Let's see. Is that why words fail to express and why I feel that for you I must bleed? I want to be your hero. For you I'd gladly die. You must know that my love is true indeed. Whoa, he went to bleed on that one. And here we have the greatest mystery solved of why Christ came to die. Words must have failed him too. A man needs his love to know he's no lie. And so he came and bled. For you and me and Coben too. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Words fail, all true love. That's why, Ashley, I wish I could die for you.
You will.
You will, don't worry. So
hang in there.
They end up getting married. By the way, before they could get married, part of the process is the prison chaplain and warden have to sit down with the non-prisoner half of the couple and explain the case in extremely excruciating detail to them. Whatever there is, that's the law. So just in case they've been lying to you, this picture?
This
This is going to be you if he ever gets out. But she didn't give a fuck. She's all on board. They're never going to be able to fuck because they're in prison. But check this out. There they are. What's wrong with that picture, Jimmie?
Oh, boy. Hold on. Let me put glasses on.
Put your glasses on. This is a picture of their wedding. It's in prison. What's wrong with that picture, Jimmie?
Why does she have a child there?
Thank you.
Where is it? What?
What's that kid? Maybe 7, Jimmie?
Yeah.
6? He's in a fucking prison. Watching his mom marry a psychopath.
A lunatic. He's
nice fucking game.
The kid is looking up at his ear going, what is wrong with that?
What happened
Why
there?
is that off?
Is that going to happen to me when I get older? So,
why is he there?
Yeah, this is fucking insane. September 2018, he gave an interview for some documentary, and he said, quote, "There's not a day that goes by that I don't regret that and hate it. Nobody hates me as much as I hate the man that I used to be. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize to Christy. I'm sorry, Christy."
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I kind of want to take one of my handsome friends and find that woman and write her letters and then and steal her away from him.
Yeah, right, don't you? Right.
Break up their
You can't
wedding.
have her. No.
She's adorable. And that kid deserves better.
Anybody deserves
That's
better.
fucked up.
Now, Christy has had the property of War Machine tattoo covered on her back with a new one. She's kept her hair short since the attacks, actually. She's kept it short and wears wigs in an act of defiance. She said, quote, "He hated when I wore wigs." So she's going to wear wigs because that pissed
forever.
her off. Yeah. She's also become an advocate for domestic violence victims and advises those to reach out to her. She says, quote, when you're in this kind of situation, you feel very helpless. You feel you can't go anywhere. But I want to let them know that life does go on no matter what. If you choose to leave your abuser, life will go on and you will be okay and you can make it. Mm-hmm. Good for her. Good for you, Christy. Positive message. Can't get enough?
No.
You know what? I can. Fuck this guy. You don't want any of his shit. If you can't get enough, buy something from Christy Mack. She's got T-shirts that help domestic violence victims.
Buy a dildo.
Yeah, fuck that other idiot. Fuck him. Fuck him in the ear.
Yeah.
I don't like this guy. With a knife. That, my friends, is War Machine.
Wowza.
Jonathan Koppenhaver. And wow, that's a story. That's one of the top requested episodes.
Yeah.
People started requesting it in our first couple weeks of doing the show when he wasn't even sentenced yet. He wasn't even found guilty yet. So we had to wait for it to come to an end and then kind of give it some space to breathe. So everyone on Earth wasn't talking about it. And here you go. Now you get War Machine.
Like a nice Cabernet.
You got to let it breathe. You got to swirl it in the glass. We were swirling it in the glass this time. We're swishing it around. So that's what we're doing right there. Thank you guys so much for listening to that. What you can do, if you help us out here, if you like the show, God damn it, listen to me for once. Don't you fucking turn that off right now. Don't you pause it and go to another podcast. Listen to me for 1 second. Trust me for 1 second. Help us out here. Do the things that help us out. You know why? This is a weird show. We give you this show. It's a labor of love, this show.
Yeah.
This is not a moneymaker, this show. You make a little cash, but not much. Nothing to make a living off of. This show is a labor of love that they don't know how to sell this show.
Right.
No network's ever figured out how to sell this show. And we like our network now. We're with Midroll, Stitcher. They're fine, but they still don't know how to sell it. Nobody does. They all do the same thing. They get on the phone with us and they go, hey guys, you got this show. It's a great show. We love it. It's really, really funny. Right. So we got you some advertisers that are interested. Here's dick pills.
Right.
We're like, no. Nope. First of all, we're not talking about dick pills because that's stupid. Second of all, audience is actually majority women. Yeah. Not all women, but it's like 60% women. So they might not be interested in the dick pills. They're like, what do you mean? It's a sports show though. We're like, not really. It's sort of like this. They're like, so we got these dick pills. We just told you. This is what we go through constantly. They don't understand. They're like, well, we can't sell anything that a woman could want because the word has sports in the title.
Right.
Like no one can get, this show is a fucking unicorn with one eye. That's what it is. It's beautiful. It's a unicorn. It's great.
That apparently needs dick pills.
That needs dick pills with a soft dick in one eye. This unicorn's amazing because it's a fucking unicorn. Well, those don't exist. But how do you sell it with a big gouged out ugly eye hole? No one wants this fucking thing. That's what we're looking at here. That's what we have. A fucking one-eyed unicorn. So thank you for doing all this shit. And the things that help us are reviews help a lot, all that sort of shit. Tell your friends. That helps a lot. Tell everybody. This fucking show is funny. You don't need to like sports to like it. Do that. Help us out. Get on Apple Podcasts, the purple icon. Give us 5 stars. Tell us whatever the fuck you want. We don't give a shit. I don't care what you say. Do you care?
Don't care.
I don't care if you say these guys suck. If you give us 5 stars and give the fucking thing, it boosts us up. But don't say that because then some people might see it and think you hit 5 stars by accident.
Think they can do it too.
So yeah, and then it'll become a thing. So don't do that, please. Say nice things, but we don't care. It's not for our ego. So do that. Help us out there. Go to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get yourself some merch, some crime and sports stuff, some small town murder stuff. Listen to Small Town Murder if you're not. What the fuck is wrong with you? Awesome, good bonus stuff that we'll talk about. Also, listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie every Friday. God damn it. Do that, you sons of bitches. Just kidding. So do all that.
If you're still here and you like us, you can send us money and support the show that way.
You can do that. Well, you can follow us on social media first. You can do we are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. Follow us there. And if you want to help the show out and be a goddamn hero and get all sorts of bonus material, including this week's War Machine prison blogs that we're going to talk about, you can do that extremely easily. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/crimeandsports. Or if you just want to make a donation and you don't want any bonus stuff, you just want to be nice to us and give us a few bucks because you're a nice person, karma and all that shit, you can do that also over at PayPal using our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com. And that's also where you can email the show, as a matter of fact. Now, that said, this has been a lot of shit going, beatings and all that.
Really
I need to feel good.
Cleanse the palate.
A little sorbet here going through.
Coffee beans.
Hit me with the sorbet of the greatest people in the world, Jimmy. Punch me right in the forehead with these sons of bitches. Our producers, hit me with them now.
This week's executive producers are Gianna DeLuca, Joseph Wizentiak, Rick and Amanda fucking Radford. That's who that is. Let's see here. Lizette Stafford, what did I do? Carolyn Davis, Gina Colon, Rick Adeo, Douglas Wilson, Aileen Laura Stein, Dylan Derringer, Kelly Mack, Felicity Stratton, Josie McGregor, Allison with no last name, Gabby McGohey, Julie Kinsey. Happy birthday to Heather Norton's son.
Happy birthday.
She didn't give us his name, so we get to name him. Is it Dylan? Is it
Roger?
That's his name. Good. Happy birthday, Roger.
Hey, little Roger. Good job.
Belinda Reed, Mouse, Celeste Pettyjohn, Taylor Cook, Jan Rechbrunner, Angela Duncan, Eden Finelli, Jennifer Keelman, Blake Almond, I think that's right, Mandy Ronning, Ariel Connor, David Edinger, Dustin Bush, Liam Ashton, Amanda Murphy, Carol Braun, Jordan Bennett, Tonya Volanek, Michelle Hayes, Paul Ruest, Melissa Turner, Elizabeth Goldstein, Sabrina Jones, Pamela Sloan, the original Pamela. Martha Kirkland, Connie and Sean Young, Kristen Henderson, Jessica Fernandez, and Emily Vasic. You guys, thank you so much. Other producers this week are Graham Wilson, Lisa Stanton, Aaron Cooper, I think. Is that Cowder? Oh, my, this is going to be a long day. Lee Sims, Danielle Loveland, Thomas Smith, Kayla Dunphy, Janice Hill, Bridger Creed, CGB.
There you go.
Those are just letters, Jimmy. Lacey Norris, Lucy Stacy, James Martyr, Brian Starr, Alex Lopez, Charmaine Valley, Jude Ellis, Ecles, Trisha Ann Conley, Andrea Webster, Dustin Johnson, Ryan Sargent, Liz Vasquez, Cheyenne Gibson, Jason Bonitata, and Owen Vogelsberger. Anna Vogelsberger. Why did my voice change? Jackie Sukup, Martina Lualonga, Reagan Shalkley, Rebecca Stanovich, Susan. What did I do? Shan Hickey, I think. Joshua Hennick, Bradley Spencer, Elizabeth Britton, Chanel Mendiola, Jude Kendall, Laura Jackson, Trinity Divelbus, Brendan Abels. God damn, sorry, Jim. Sorry,
we know him.
I know. Carl Kirschner, Russ Linderman, Kim Hodgkins, Emery McGaha, Kira Lemming, Brooke Kale, Peyton Meadows, Andrea Calkins, Tracy Renninger, Lisa Jackson, Mitch Worthington, Aaron Gerber, James Aseltza, Susan Platt, Ashley Vio, Aaron Huff, Cheryl Horde, Gary Howard, Leroy Walker, Heather Norton, there's Heather, Melissa Keller, I think I wrote, Nate Kohler, Susan Gail Galty, I think it's Gail, Amanda Coleman, Brian Killian, Bill McClellan, Patrick Lord, Michael Hogue, Dennis O'Malley, Julie Mate, or I think.
All right.
I don't know.
I'll buy that.
Julia Barnes, Amanda Knight, Alana Tabarez, Pamela Ornelas, Calla Collins, Brielle with no last name, Christina Preventure. Fucking hell. Christ. Chelsea, is that Chelsea?
After the first page, he starts to fall apart. I love it. The wheels coming. He's like, I'm going to do this straight. I'm going to burn right. I'm going to get right through him. And then by the end of the first page, he's like, They're definitely wobbling. Chelsea Bowling, Jen with no last name, Monica Cruz, Christy with no last name, Josiah with no last name, Kennard, what is that? No, it's Kenna Rob, 83, okay. Charlie, Enoch, Willaminge, come on, Willaminge. Whitty? Hey, Minge. Hey, Minge. Bring that Minge over. Jessica Gilkins, Michelle Hinton, Tatum Zeitchik, Emma Butler, Emily Blake, Devin Rowland, Brooke Dover, that's Ben's sister, obviously. Hey, clearly.
Fred with no last name, Chantel Hilsinger, Amanda Ferguson, M.R. Phibbs, not Mr., Melissa Kimball, Bree, what did I do? Renew. I think so. Aaron Hudson, Crystal Reed, Melanie Flynn, Sarah Davis, Christy Morrison, Andy Gutierrez, Jisoo Kim, Cat I or Cat 1, I don't know what that was. I wrote that weird. Lance Danger, Candace with no last name, Charles with no last name, Everett Hampton, Joanne H, Mark Langulis, Kaylee Deal, Chrissy Kugis, Krista Gilson, Ellis Martin, Kristen Wilkins, Victoria Barricks. Nope. Annie B with no last name. That's just a B. Amanda Arroyo, Julie Zaniboni, Jeffrey Alt, Georgina Johnson, Amy Eichard, Kel McDonald, Adam Campbell, NC, Megan with no last name, Mouse with no last name, Joey Malau, Dan Wenzel, Maya Crefield. Yep. Karen Hamrock, Amira, it is Amira, Maria Holloman, Lindsay Pafana Steele? No, probably not. Missy Hoover, Jennifer Lamb, Autumn Chapman. Jennifer Lamb is so easy. Thank you, Jen.
That's a nice easy one.
Zinty Lovelace, Diane with no last name, Christina Rittenauer, Joseph Lacrino? No. Nick Castle, Brandon Shepard, Danny Parton, Elizabeth Campbell, Mackie Hempel, Scott Bradford, Jordan Selmer, Daniel Perry, Jenny Smith Fisk, Riot Mom. Oh, that's easy. Riot Mom.
Hey.
Abby Temple, Noah Davis, Aaron Rulker, Georgia Tuma, Kate Van Brussel, Sarah Center, Abby Temple, I said that, Tish Wellis, Josie Pringle, no, Prince, that's what that is, John Douglas, Paige Winters, Dave Cohen, Rachel Palouse, William Shelley? What did I do? No. William Shue. Samantha Bivens. Kelsey Capraro. Meg Hassick Watt. That's two last names. Megan McKibben. Alfred Jensen. Matthew Richardson. Dan Kaufman. Chris Kennedy. Amanda Marie. Glenn with no last name. Erica Kalin. Chris Kennedy. Chris with no last name. Daphne June. Glenn with no last name. I said that. Robert Alacina. Nope. Sadie's Winsheimer. Billy Bob Baker. Jamie Grafton. Angela Summerlot, Linda M, Nikki Boo Boo, Chrissy McDonald, Dina Landman, Morgan Schultz, Ryan Loafing, Jesse Rotz. Oh boy,
Jesse Rotz.
Yeah,
the last one was loafing, and this one's rotting.
Rotting and loafing.
Jesus.
Marina Buell. Marina Buell, Kendall Lennon, Austin Kugendell. Shit. Claire Nelson, Heather Alwaysy, Sarah Harrington, Veronica Manning, Cody with no last name, Jessica Hedelen, probably not, Nicole Breyer, Heather Briggs, Bonnie Hunt, Nicole and Ashley Thompson, Nikki Carr, Laura Burton, Raymond Smith, Edward Possible Sissel. Yep. That's not it either. Derek Kotlowski, Eric Simmons, Sophia with no last name, Aaron Simon, Adam Simon, Jesus, Stacy Judd, Allison Bennett, Alexander Michael Beesenford, Brittany McDonald, Ashley Yervis, Roska Piotr. No.
Yikes.
Roska Prori. Duck Hunter, that's probably not real, right? Duck Hunter? No, probably not. Amy Paulson,
cool
I wish it was.
Yeah.
Thomas Christo, Bridget A, Juliana Wolf, Brittany Alvis, Melanie Darcy, Kaylee Atwood, Katrina Leibowitz, Brett Stoker, Kendall Kendis, Cadence, Zelenia, Virginia Stringfellow, Asic, Prick, what is that? Rollins is their last name. Asikic. No, Allison Rye, Darwin Heron, Craig Rustin, Sarah Acosta, Dustin Howlett, Mark Rebel, William Rice, Ryan Keane, Kim Wilkening, Cheryl Malone, Alyssa Taylor, Jessica Fior, Will Taffet, Caitlin Blythe, Amy Eichinger. Nancy Baca, Tim Waller, Tony with no last name, Michael Dickinson, Sarah Slusher of the Slush Puppy Fortune, Seda with no last name, Sean Daly, Christopher Abishaw, Courtney Pearson, Cam Payton, Whitney Robinson, Matt Reyes, Susan Anderson, Melissa Tremont, Marla with no last name, Richard Bissett, Jenny McCulley, Erica Kimberly, Caitlin Hallstrom, Connor Watson, Sarah Sparks, Bailey Cohen, Kelly Ruan, Heather Duffy, Quentin Rowland, Sean Condon, Rose Jarman, Alex St. Vincent, Lily Bensley, Sarah Smith, Ciara Holme, Shari Heiler, Justin Wiersma, Tammy Jurack, Devin Silva,
Deep breath, Jimmie.
Emma DeLong, Matt Cock, Jack with no last name, Kate Brown, Sean with no last name, Kathleen Kaliher.
Get to page 4, it's Matt Cock. He doesn't even care anymore.
Carolina Nunez Pacheco, Mandingo Milker. What is that?
What the fuck?
No way.
That's the best name so
Mandingo Milker. That's what I wrote.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable. Is that really what somebody... Merk. M-E-R-K.
That's much better.
That doesn't say...
Mandingo Milker.
I'm a bad writer, but I made it awesome. Kathleen Kelleher, Mackenzie Johnson, Michael Keenan, Brent Tyler, Maggie Beck, Ellie with no last name, Angela Bazamore, Roxanne Cooper, Patrick Sparks, Kelly with no last name, Crystal Winfrey, Ashley Henderson, Jamie Ulrich, Jose Del Rio, Chelsea with no last name, Ronald Ross, Kate Lovell, Pennell with no last name, Sydney Dodson, Jaretta McDermott, Murdenovich. How do you get both of those, Jimmie? Erica Hernandez, Ryan Milligan, Kyle with no last name, Emma Verm, Tyler Sloan, Drew Griffin, Cameron Pribe, Hannah Orme, Heather Duffy, Damian Cloder, Georgette King, Jennifer with no last name, Joseph Berg, Samantha Blythe, Mark Swim, Trevor Richards, Lauren Hoffman, Travis Wood, NC, Jessica McGonigal, Alan with no last name, Emma Vierm, Erica Hernandez, Tyler Sloan, Drew Griffin, Joan Weipert, Donald LeBeau, Dan Montcalm, Natalie Hostowski, Caitlin Granger, Brad Cole, Brent Wilcox. You're damn right he will.
Home stretch.
The last page. Brian Cotton, Vincent Wary. Ryan D is a bald-headed prick and loves to suck on ball sacks. Love Blair Bodner.
If he loves to suck on ball sacks,
we got to talk about.
Are they bald ball sacks?
I'm not sure. He is. Grace Gaglione, Will Mozingo, Sarah Pignotti, Matt Napolitano, Pat Stockdale, Joe DeSantis, Vincent Wary, I think I said that, Jessica Chadwick, Justin Geardes, Tanner Feltz, I don't know what he felt, Jody Fleming, Tyler Hickey, Anamala Maldanadu.
Wow.
That's a fucking rough one.
Anamala Xanadu?
That's it. Okay. Julia Ritchie, Erica Frazier, Kristen Hoover, Autumn Werscher, Sean Dimmick, Don Smith, K.S. Amelia with no last name, Ralph Heil, no fucking way. Joey with no last name. Little Paper Forest. All right. Paige Sunderland. Sonia Suter. Jake with no last name. Jenna Lee. Stephanie Davison, Sarah Bornman, Piper V, Lindsay Fina, Jesse H, Ramona B, Scott Frazier, Krista McConnell, Tiffany Aday, Dan Pudlowski, Jesse H, Beth Story, Kyle Koenig, Molly Waltz, Joseph Telligin, Scott Moorhead, Darnell Adams, Brian Gould, Gut Tween, Max Hutchison, Kyle with no last name, Jordan with no last name, Danielle with no last name, Chris with no last name, McGraves, Pat Page, Lewis, Julie Jones, Robert Furicht. That feels weird. Aaron Fitz, Sam Marshall, Kim Flutterman, Douglas McGowan, Christina Billy, Chad Riley, Alex with no last name, Crystal Kramer, and all of our goddamn Patreon donors. You're amazing.
Thank you, everybody. Man, Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, honestly, for getting it and
Hero work.
and doing wonderful. I mean, getting the show and then being so nice to us and treating us in a way that you really don't have to, but you do anyway.
It's shocking.
It's amazing. Thank you guys so much. Jimmie, what if they wanted to thank you? How could they do that?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter and Instagram. And thank you guys for being around for the cooking show last week.
Yeah.
It was, I'm not much for self-promotion, so thank you guys for being there. Appreciate it. What about you?
I am at Jimmie P. is funny. You tweet you post 6,700 times a day.
Yeah, but it has nothing
You're
to
all
do
for
with me.
It's all about
it's just
all
a
of you.
dumb thought.
Yeah, it's still self-promotion. We're all self-promoters. We're comedians.
We have to.
But he doesn't have a good ego.
No.
But he'll self-promote and say he sucks. It's a weird thing. So
isn't this a stupid thought?
yeah. Anyway, I'm at Jimmie P. is funny. You can find me there or copy and paste my name from the show description. Do all of that and keep coming back every week. Don't look for a fucking episode with a person you recognize. You don't have to do that. Every episode is funny. We make sure it's funny. God damn it. I'm up till 7 in the fucking morning making sure it's funny. Listen to the shit. That said, live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like Crime and Sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
with a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.